If you have a stick and you break it, do you have a broken stick or do you have two sticks?
This is like a half full, half.
No, this is a mentality question, isn't it?
It's just a
So
question.
your answer determines
No. If you
your
have a
like how you think or your perspective,
you have a stick.
your outlook.
It breaks.
It's two sticks.
Do you have one broken stick or do you have two sticks now?
Well, like those two choices, one's optimistic and what's the opposite?
Pessimistic.
Pessimistic, isn't
Yeah, that's
it?
why I said it's the half glass, half full, half empty glass question.
What do you-
Bro, it depends. Like, what I'm gonna use that stick for. If I'm gonna try and get a ball down from a tree and it's not long enough now, I've got a broken stick.
Let's put yourself in the predicament. It's sat there. What are you going with? Are you crying that it's half and it's broken, or are you going? I see opportunity here.
I don't know, bro. Like, if you look at it from a definition point of view, it's fucking broken. And so it's broken. You don't have two sticks. Because you never go, like, when someone gets a stick and breaks it on their knee, right? You never say, oh, you made two sticks. You go, you broke the stick.
But then it's nunchucks.
Yeah, but only Bruce Lee knows how to use them. So, and he plays ping pong with them.
I saw that ad. During that ad, I don't.
That's
That ad bullshit.
Bullshit.
100%. Bro.
CGI, like space.
Guys, and like Bruce Lee, I think they've overstepped truly how great he was. Like, they're overdone. They've exaggerated. Now it's like he was a wizard. Like he was punching. Like he was this guy. He was like my. He was like my size, wasn't he? Or like a little bigger than I was.
Cause have you seen his 1-inch punches and stuff? Size didn't really matter for him. He just knew how to conjure energy and just focus it.
For me, if a guy is kicking a boxing bag that is 120 kilos and hitting the roof, I think he's something special. That was Bruce Lee.
doing that.
Yeah, bro.
We gotta look at what kind of bag this was, bro.
I don't care if it's
This wasn't one of the
120
little-
kilograms.
I don't care if it's a balloon. I won't be able to hit the fucking roof.
I don't
with
care
it.
if it's 120 kilograms of feathers, bro. 120
Nah,
kilograms.
120
bag.
kilograms is 120 kilograms. Doesn't matter what it was.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And
You know what?
I keep confusing with Law from Tekken, right? Because it was like based on.
I'm sure that was based.
Because did Bruce Lee know how to rainbow kick, or is that a Law thing?
Which one?
The rainbow kick.
Which one's that one?
It's like when you go like that.
How are you, boys?
Good.
Good. It's good to be back. Finally back. It took me a while, but I got out.
Dude,
Can you hear that beeping?
It's the probe in his ass.
Yeah.
The government, bro. You need to. You didn't get it. It's the government that is constantly
Can you hear that?
getting you.
Can you hear that?
All your all systems go. It's actually been fun. It's been a weird
Guys,
day.
no,
It's been a weird 2 days.
Sorry, can I come back to
Whatever.
our top 10? Don Bradman, that choice made me angry, bro.
Wow.
Fuck.
Because I was watching that. Don Bradman.
How? Explain yourself. Go.
Cricket is not a sport.
Because it felt like more of a suck up to like get an Aussie guy in there. I don't know, bro.
We're being.
I'm not gonna lie.
Don Bradman.
I considered him.
Nah, I didn't, bro. Fuck that, cuz. Are you serious? He's not even in top 20, bro. Don Bradman.
Why?
Cuz Serena Williams would put him on show.
In cricket.
In cricket, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I'm even willing to go that like controversial. Yes, bro.
Serena Williams
Don
at the
Bradman,
moment can't even get into the
cuz-
final of the Australian Open.
No. Can I explain
Yeah.
the basis on why I make this statement? Because cricket, Don Bradman was playing cricket when
4 countries played it.
exactly,
Yeah.
and,
Now
and there
6
was not
countries
many
play it.
people playing it.
That's fair enough.
I brought that up
It's
with
like
Fatih
also
as well.
Jose can say, oh no, not Jose. There was another one. Anyways, I can't remember.
Go on with Don Bradman.
Can you remember your? But yeah, it was just on that. Like one, it was the time. Like everyone who says Rocky Marciano was the best heavyweight, no, bro, because he bashed like 15 no names. No, not even that. Like, cause I think his record was like 30-0, or something ridiculous.
Rocky Marciano was 50-0.
50-0. Okay, there we go. Because apparently like 30 of them were like bums off the street. So like, cause imagine guy just trains. He's a street brawler. And he comes in and tries to fight with him. Of course, he's gonna get knocked
Kimbo
out.
But you gotta-
Because there was no regulation. It was corrupt as fuck back in that day. And
That make it harder.
What do you mean?
Doesn't it make his fights harder?
Nah.
There's
Not
no
depends how
regulation.
you argue about it because people were taking money to take falls in fights.
Yeah,
100%.
that's true too.
See, the difference, the way I look at Marciano as well is, see, Floyd Mayweather, Ali, you're looking at, say,
Floyd Mayweather.
two-
I can't.
Floyd,
no.
different example. Let's say Ali. Ali is what, 4 fights a year at the time? Because Marciano was fighting at least 8-9 times a year. Think about that. 8-9 times boxing. Nowadays, good luck when a boxer fights 2 times in a year.
Don't-
Look at Tyson Fury. He fought what? Once, twice? But don't get me wrong, I rate Tyson Fury. He's
Yeah, I
probably
rate too.
my favorite. And I hope he's
Not
I hope he
athletic, but I think-
absolutely
Because
destroys
we should
Anthony
do
Joshua.
a high IQ top 10 or something.
Yeah, there'll be no rugby league players there.
No, I beg to differ.
Will Smith.
I beg to
from
differ.
Parramatta. He's number one.
The GOAT.
The GOAT. All right.
You call him
What do you mean by IQ, but?
Sports in
Like, for
IQ?
instance, I think, like, I look back at my list now and I think,
I'm an idiot.
nah.
Who did he have on there that might have been controversial?
Tyson has won. Tyson has won is a very controversial thing, bro.
Nah,
I
he's
consider
cause
Tyson.
athletic, bro.
Yes,
Athletic.
But I said, look at his career as well. Yes, don't get me wrong. I
Yeah,
would
of
put
course.
him in top
'Cause
10,
see,
but
that's
number
where the-
one is different.
Because that's where the clashes happen. Because I'm like, I agree with you. Mike Tyson, he achieved, he was champion, but he was fighting, I don't know. No, he wasn't really fighting. He was fighting freaking,
Yeah, but he fought everyone that was put in front of him.
yeah.
That's your job as a boxer. If you're
But
picking your
yeah.
fights, it's different. But if they're going, Mike, you're fighting this guy, okay, and he just goes, and he's dead.
Because look how, because come on, bro, look at him. How
I don't-
athletic he was.
Yeah, but
I
he'd
don't-
definitely lose the IQ fight too.
My bird.
Spinal.
Nah,
Spinal. My back is broken. What do you mean, Michael? I broke my back. Which part? Spinal. dumbest interview ever.
he didn't expect so many questions.
The commentator actually, the reporter's like, "Oh, Michael, we understand you came into this fight with an injury. What happened? I broke my back."
You can tell he was thinking on the spot. He was like, what do I say?
I don't want to make fun of Mike Tyson in case he kills me.
And plus, on top of that, because look, you
We
saw
haven't finished on Bradman
you
yet.
saw, no, I'm done with that. Bradman is unnecessarily not supposed to be.
Was there
involved.
anyone else there you thought?
I
what
think
the
there was
hell?
one more, but other than that, the list was pretty good. Like Michael
list was
Phelps,
the same.
I missed out. Michael Phelps, because he's American, my bias set in, and I was like, nah, I don't want to
Yeah,
have an
like
American.
Tyson, eh?
But no, Tyson's Muslim. But he's Muslim. He's Muslim and he's automatic pick. Hence why Muhammad Ali was in there
Did
too.
you have Serena Williams in there too?
Yeah, I did.
American.
But
Another American.
Yeah.
yeah, but she's black.
So you're not doing by best athlete. You're trying to conform to a list.
No. But see, this is who I consider athletic. See,
But-
this is hence the lists.
Okay, so when Don Bradman, has the highest average stat across sports, not cricket, sports, you can't tell me this guy wasn't athletic.
But I don't understand how they do the pointing system. Look,
Yeah,
I'm not saying that
Cuz
Bradman
I don't
wasn't
even
good,
know
but
what an over is. In cricket, over. What is that?
It's 6 balls.
6 balls.
An over.
Yeah.
Just say 6 balls.
But then
Yeah,
why?
but let's change the whole sport because of one guy can't
It's
fucking
hypocritical.
understand.
It's like, why do we call it a scrum? Let's just call it a huddle.
Why do you
Actually,
call it
no.
a free kick? Why not just kicking the ball from the dot?
Yeah, call a penalty.
Why do you call it a serve? Just hit it, call it ball going over net.
I don't understand how the points system comes into it, because
As in cricket or the
like
the
in
stat?
general, like how they give a point, like, bro, scoring a goal in soccer, for example, I think is harder than getting a run in cricket.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
there's guys who go 10 games that don't go score a goal, but most batters, not many people get out of the duck 10 games in a row. You know what I mean?
It was the average though. Do you know what I mean? Like, say, bro, to score 1 goal in 1 game is probably a lot easier than scoring 100 runs in 1 match.
In a sport that only 5 countries play,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
but
that's where,
imagine
like,
doing
cricket-
that. Like, yeah, say 1 country played, and you're versing this country for the rest of your life. Yeah, okay. To
Sounds
get the same amount of runs every single game, like the average for the whole career.
all right, I'll give you an example. I played water polo in high school, okay? And there was only one other team in our district, one other school that had a water polo team. We versed the same team every week.
Okay.
And it was a school that had a pool, so we used to go there and swim in their pool. Bro, I scored, on average, 8 goals per game, which in water polo is amazing. You know why I scored it? Because I was the only one who knew how to swim in that pool.
That's fair enough. Okay, now do that over
Hence my
10,
point.
15 years.
All right, so no.
I would have, because they wouldn't have never learned how to swim.
Let's put this question in perspective. Don Bradman comes into today, some form of science crack through or breakthrough. He comes and plays. Do you think he's doing the same thing he was doing back with the other
Dude,
bums?
but look what you're considering. You're saying a guy that has not, like, the game has evolved 100 years since then. It's like saying, would Pele do really well now?
Yes, he would.
No, he wouldn't.
Because
you
what's
know-
changed with soccer when they were playing there besides VAR?
No, the offside rule. The offside rule has heavily changed since his time.
Yeah, bro, we look at armpits now.
Bro, he used to play so high, fine line margins now, bro. I reckon most of the time he was offside. Like, straight up. And he was small, but the game's a lot more physical now.
Yeah.
Look at Maradona, for example, yeah? Maradona and Messi is probably identical. If you said Maradona came back now, you'd probably say maybe.
Because like
Pele,
our list will probably become obsolete in like 30 years. It'll become like, bro, are you serious? This guy? You know what I mean?
But
like,
do you see a player like, let's throw one out there, Muhammad Ali, but he's always going to be one of the greatest of all time. Cristiano Ronaldo,
I
Messi,
can't-
always going to be one of the greatest of all time. But Ronaldinho, if I made a top 10 soccer list, would probably be on that
Yeah,
list, and he'll be
without
on
a
that
doubt.
list in 30 years' time, probably. I don't see another Ronaldinho coming
'cause,
out.
Like Cristiano Ronaldo is going to retire. Surely there's going to be a new guy coming.
They're
through.
talking about Haaland and Mbappe. I don't think they're going to be on the same level.
Nah, not me neither.
No, Mbappe is a very, very good player, man.
He is a very good player, but
but-
he's not.
But when it comes to football, look, in our era, okay, even when we were young, let's say pre-Ronaldo's Messi, all right?
Figo.
No, Figo's not a legend. He's a great player, but he's
No,
not.
no,
he
I'm
doesn't,
talking
like,
about
he
Figo
probably,
time.
He probably goes world class. There's a legend
Yeah.
factor. You know what I mean? There's probably maybe 2, 3 that go into a conversation. Think about that. Okay, you're probably looking at maybe Zidane. Definitely is in that conversation. You're probably maybe looking at Xavi, maybe.
Cruyff.
Cruyff's
earlier.
a lot
Cruyff's
more
earlier.
earlier than them.
a lot
Yeah.
early,
But like,
bro.
and R9.
Yep.
Okay, see, R9 is different. R9 sneaks into legend.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But look at that. Over two
Because he's a legend.
people over the court. Don't get me wrong, there's more as well, but there's 2 people there that I just mentioned that straight away 2 guys in our current generation overrides. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, Messi and Ronaldo. The moment you hear that Messi, the word Messi or Ronaldo, like Cristiano Ronaldo, you're not thinking, maybe Zidane, maybe. You're automatically going Pele, Maradona, and then now they've fallen off. So now it's just these 2, just
So
going
you-
back and forth.
In 20 years' time, you're saying that Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi won't be regarded as highly as they
No,
have
I
been for
re-
the last 10 years?
I reckon they're the new benchmark now.
Yeah.
So in our time, it was, when are we going to find the next...
Ronaldo.
No, the other one. Pele or Maradona.
Yeah.
Or even R9. R9 is very debatable in the sense of he was injured. But at his peak, he was unstoppable.
Because he was unstoppable.
But when you look at Pele uses the argument, I won 3 World Cups. Okay? But let's
True.
also keep in
True.
mind, dude, you had a superstar of a squad. Like, if you...
Valid point.
It's
Nah.
what it is.
He could take a free. name a player in this day and age now who's won free,
In this day and age.
let alone one. Has Ronaldo won CR9?
No.
I mean CR7.
CR7 has not won a World
No,
Cup.
he hasn't.
There we go.
But look at
Neither
the-
has Messi.
But look at
He's
the
still not
look at
on
the
the
team
cha-
he's
still
carrying.
not on the
Look
level
at
he
the
should
team
be.
he's
But
carrying.
then you can look at Champions Leagues and how many has Ronaldo won?
5.
Like, how many did Pele win?
Pele didn't.
Also,
play
yes,
the-
Tom Brady. That was another guy. Now, yes, there's no denying he's very talented. He's very good at what he does as a quarterback. I think he's not an athletic player, but rather a very intelligent player. Does that make sense? That was probably my only conflict with that choice.
He's not what? He's not.
He's a
not
very
athletic?
intelligent player. He's not athletic, which is true. He is
But
because
his
I've
job
watched
is
his
not-
comps.
But his job is not to be athletic.
But see, why is he
his
only
job is-
athletic?
Because
We're
there's a
talking about
difference between
athlete.
athlete and athletic. There's a
Yeah.
big difference. If
So
we're talking
all round-
athletics, I'm probably chucking Mohammed Farah on there. The long distance 25k, whatever that guy.
Oh, yeah.
I'll
Matt-
chuck him on there.
Matt Fraser was still pumping.
I actually saw a video of him, and I'm not being.
Bro,
not
he's
bad.
an animal,
I'll give
bro.
him a go.
30 push-ups, 20 sit-ups, bro.
Bro,
Get out
there was
of
an
here.
event a couple years ago. It was a hot day. Bro, athletes were passing out. Like, they were actually KO passing out. Matt Fraser walked off like, bro, that didn't even faze me. Like, he's just... It's not just like running and lifting. It's like swimming. It's like speed. It's like... That's why I had it up there. That's where my bias comes into it as well, because I've done CrossFit and I know how hard it is. It's like, to perfect everything involved, it has to be up there.
But you got to admire the mindset on the bloke. I think because... I'm sure you guys will agree with me. I think there's only so much athletic ability, but if you're not there mentally...
Bro, every athlete knows that. It's all in your head, bro.
Like, I think, so it just goes to show, maybe if Matt Fraser, was to adopt a decent sport, like maybe football, NRL, I don't know, if he was to jump in, he'd probably be an athlete.
See, a lot of the guys who are in the CrossFit Games are like NFL flunks and stuff like that, or like they were in the military, or like...
See, AFL is another game that's...
Bro, it's
like, as much as I give it, like, I don't watch
game.
It is a tough game.
It's very tough.
game.
Right, to be running around like an oval, or not even an oval, like an oval? Circle.
Bro, I'll give you one example of why AFL is tough, right? When you play rugby league, you run out a line, so where you're going to get hit from is like very limited. Like, he's going to be in front of you, he's going to be slightly on your right, he's going to be slightly on your left. Very rarely, unless you've made a break, you get a tackle from behind. In AFL, you just get smashed from every angle.
Yeah, I agree. But it's just such an unorganized game. Like, it's like we got confused on the way to playing soccer. You know what I mean?
Bro, you know what?
That's what AFL is to me. It's just like...
It's soccer where you can hold the ball.
Some idiots down in Melbourne went, I don't want to play that WOG game. Because I'll make my own game. That's probably how it turned out, But, you can't deny...
We don't like
the
golf,
athleticism.
But could you name, like, 5 AFL players?
Like,
Adam Goods would be number 1 on the list
like
for me.
Current,
and
no.
Anytime.
Don't say no.
Anytime.
I know the drug deal, the guy that was on the meth. He played in Queensland.
Cousins.
Ben Cousins. Barry Hall. Really stretching it here.
Stephen Locke? No?
No, Adam Goods.
Adam Goods. I only know him because he got racistly...
Something Lockhart or something.
Yeah, something Locke. He played for Sydney
Swans and he retired. I forgot his name.
Lockyer.
No, Lockhart or something. Lockhart.
Look, again, we're trying to... It's like
failed.
we're trying to name players that in a sport that we don't watch.
At all.
Yeah. So, any more...
No, that's it. Other than that, it was good. I just didn't agree with...
Bradman.
I don't know, but then again, I think the definition of athletes could have been defined a little better. My choices would have been different. Because I just went through who's a dominant sports player or sports star that I know and that I do my... That's why, hence, Serena Williams, cuz, she'd eat me alive. Any sport, doesn't matter.
Lost, didn't she?
Yeah, she lost to Saka.
So
I can't believe it. You know
what?
what?
You're saying you'd give Don Bradman a good go if he was alive?
Fucking oath. Look at him.
You'd hit an old man.
No, if I somehow, with technology's advancement and if time machines go back into time before he was a sir, having like...
Oh yeah, I'm going to bowl at ya.
But, Hey, sir.
But, I don't know.
Yeah, Serena got knocked out, yes.
Yeah, she did get knocked out.
And Nadal got knocked out as well.
And
Djokovic made it through. I reckon Djokovic's a lying prick.
About?
I reckon he's down. You know what? My little conspiracy about him, straight up, I reckon he put a bet on himself.
Who?
To lose?
Djokovic. No, to win the tournament. Dude, he announced he was injured. Yeah? Because he went up to $5 to win the tournament.
Oh, really?
Comes back next match, absolutely annihilates the guy.
Tony Lockett.
Goes down to 250.
Tony Lockett was the
Tony
guy.
Tony Lockett, that's it.
Was eating me.
And then now he's just absolutely killing people again. The guy was like full had a mental breakdown on court. Oh, my back, my arm, my ass.
I broke my back.
I broke my spine.
I know.
But yeah, Serena Williams is out. I don't know if she'll be back to Australian Open. But you know what I reckon is going to happen with her? This is my guess. She'll win Wimbledon to match Margaret Court and then win the US Open.
Nah, she might be retiring, cuz. Because she was crying at the press conference.
Because they asked her, would you ever be back to the Australian Open?
And because it's there, bro. She's raising a kid. She's like, she's just...
But Australian Open's
like,
a year
I ain't got no
away.
time for this.
She'll finish this year.
She'll
She'll lose French Open. she'll win.
You heard
I'm
it
telling
here
you, she's gonna win Wimbledon, match it, and then US Open, win in front of your own home crowd,
and then retire.
I'm out. See you guys. It's been great. And then you finish on top number 1, bro. The 25. 25 titles. Fuck.
We'll never hear about it because Facebook's closed off the media, bro.
Oh yeah, now we're back to that. You know what? I'm gonna hit this, and I've been having a bit of a giggle lately. I actually like my Facebook feed now. Like, sort of, I actually do like it. Like, I actually see
It's cleaned it up.
it's cleaned it up a bit, actually. You know what I found really fascinating about this? It's how butthurt the Australian media got.
Yeah, bro.
I've never seen
So butthurt.
Australian media
Triggered.
unite ever.
Yeah.
Like,
'Cause-
you can see, like, you know when you tell a kid they can't have lollies? And then suddenly all these kids, they all rally, why can't I have lollies? Why can't I do like
I would argue that the Australian media is already united. You know why? But why haven't we had a new channel added for my whole lifetime?
True.
No, but what I mean by added, by
Reunited.
united, is more along the lines of they have been thinking, every single channel has been thinking of a way to attack Facebook.
Yeah, hashtag fuck Zuck.
Yeah. That delete Facebook. The one that made me like laugh the most is they can't defend themselves. Do you know what I mean? Because then they come across as greedy because it's all about money.
Yeah.
So what do they start doing? Facebook deleted health sites. They deleted the fire organizer. Like, they're
There's
trying to appeal to the public in a sense of
They're building mad
it's
propaganda.
not about us.
It's propaganda, cuz.
It's the health. They're reducing your health information, guys.
Bro, I will always say this, and you know what? Like, it might be hard for us to admit this, but we are so insignificant in the world population.
Yes. Thank you very much.
We are so insignificant. Bro, if Facebook lost 25 million followers, let's say everyone in Australia deleted Facebook, bro, it would not even inflict any damage on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why they
Because
were so fast to do
You
what
got
they did.
1.5 billion people in China. Or like say, let's say
That's
somewhere
a bad
else,
example, cuz.
India, right? If India decided to boycott Facebook, then they'd be hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
You're talking a fifth of the world's population.
Pretty
you know what I
much,
mean?
yeah.
Like, but Australia, it's like, oh, okay, no one in Hawaii is using Facebook anymore. Like, you've lost one
But
state or whatever it is. Like,
They
it's
are
nothing.
saying that England's on the supporting role of
Of course they're gonna spot. They're in the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
and apparently other countries are in line as well. Apparently they're going to bring this topic up on the G7 summit.
Imagine G7 summit talks about Mark Zuckerberg's decision to fucking can Australia off
Look,
Facebook.
Dude,
It's not even can. It's just the media.
You know what's really, really funny, and I find this so fucking fascinating. Okay, when it came to silencing Trump, everyone was on board.
Yeah.
You know, what's the difference?
Yeah.
You're silencing a person for sharing their views, and
Yeah.
Facebook said, you know what? When you want money from us, and complaining that we're not complying.
Yeah.
Okay, so look at what Google did. Do you guys see what Google did? They made that deal with Channel 9 or not 9 Corp,
Yeah.
$90 million for 5 years because Google's brought out Google News Showcase.
Yeah.
Okay, so sort of like one-stop hub for the news.
Mhm.
Okay. Google, and this is my view on it. Google's it's genius. You know what they did pretty much? They said, okay, for 5 years we don't have to worry about these guys. Okay, give them $90 million. What's $90 million to Alphabet? Alphabet's their owner. Okay, they're gonna go, man, we'll make that in a day. Okay, we don't give a shit. In this 5 years, you know what they're doing? They're trying to figure out a way where 9 Corp will need them.
Yeah.
They're gonna go, do you really want to leave us when everyone's here and everyone's coming to us and we're gonna pay you to come here?
Yeah.
We don't need you anymore
But we're-
because everyone else is here.
Yeah, but I'll count you on that one. Web 3.0 or Web 2.0, I think it is. I'm
What's
sure
this?
you guys have an idea. The new internet is
We need
coming
the new
out.
Internet.
The new internet.
Fuck you, reading.
Are you guys serious? No, it may be based on
Have you been getting your news from TikTok again?
No, not TikTok. No, bro. Because I haven't been on TikTok. No, I haven't been on TikTok for a while, cuz. Ever since I started trading crypto.
Bro, I deleted all my social media.
Because I very rarely look at my social media.
Well,
That's why I think...
I don't know what advancement you can bring to the web.
So,
Besides
no,
dark web.
besides, obviously, because we can all agree that Google is the main...
This is the boss.
Yeah, is the monopoly.
Yeah.
Well, there's now an internet that's coming out to not have that bias there where it's just controlled by the one thing instead of being shared. You know how they take all the information in and everything else? Rather than them getting paid for ad revenue and whatnot, we're going to be getting paid to watch ads. I don't know how that works, but that's how I remember I read an article like that. And that there was and it had to do something with crypto too. It was one of the one of the
Conspiracy theory
no,
signs?
it wasn't a conspiracy, cuz. No. I'm doing
Have you been
injustice.
smoking the devil's lettuce?
Look, I'm gonna give you time. I'm gonna give you time to look it up.
No, but go on, means.
But
Actually,
you know, you said that they got butt hurt about this whole thing, bro. I feel like this is always gonna happen. When you think about it, right? That the media in Australia has been in war with Google for a long time, bro. Do you remember when there was 90% search, blah
Google
blah?
or Facebook?
Facebook, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Google as well.
Yeah.
There's always been this fight. It's like, oh, Facebook is out. Bro, we talked about this a couple of months ago. We don't watch the news anymore. We just see what's on there.
Yeah.
Or we go on their streaming thing. This has been tension for a long time. And obviously, bro, if let's say you're KFC and you're going to put up ads, you're going to put it on Google where someone has 24 hours access to it. When they click it, the ad comes up. You're going to put it on a TV thing where people are watching it 2 hours a night. You know what I mean? So there's been this push for power for a long time, and this is just like the burst of the bubble. Like, it's just been that tension, that thing that's been flowing. Bro, I've said it with Google, and I'll say it again with Facebook, bro. Australian media is not going to win.
Look, Australian media is claiming that they've won, obviously, with Facebook because they've all united and stuff like that. But I think a conglomerate like Facebook and a conglomerate like Google, they're already, they're that established that give it maybe 5 years, 10 years, I think media sites are dead. I'm not saying they're going to go away. It's just more along the lines of comply or fuck off sort of thing.
Yep.
Where it's just going to be like, okay, you're not on Facebook, you're left behind.
Yeah.
It's like sort of like, you know, when you got influencers now, you know what I mean? If you're not part of Instagram when it's number one, you're not going to be successful.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it's like, if you're not on TikTok, you're not going to be successful. And then something will come. Google and Facebook have benchmarked their way of life that much that it's like there's no one that's going to compare to us.
Let's talk competitors, bro. Who competes with Facebook? Who competes with Google? No one. Who competes with 9/7? Netflix.
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Prime. Stan. Bro, all these things have already been killing off these media outlets for years now. How long's Netflix been around? Like 5 years, 6 years, like fully established? Like, they've got too much competition. Google and Facebook has no one to even step up and offer competition.
Can you imagine if Netflix added like a thing to the bottom, like say like these screens here? It's like it just gives you the news every like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like eliminate your point to go on like 7 news or 9 news or whatever it's like.
Yeah.
That. Like imagine that.
Bro, the media outlets have been... Bro, let's go teletext days. Bro, once
Yeah.
we had a teletext TV, Dad wasn't watching the news. We would just read it off teletext because he doesn't have to wait for 6 o'clock for the news to start or whatever. Teletext was like updated pretty regularly, right?
It's like every hour or so.
Yeah, so like you were getting 1 hour updates on what was going on. Why wait for the 6 o'clock news where there's going to be an ad break for 3 minutes? You're going to see Tim Bailey's face for 10 minutes talking about some hurricane that you already read about 3 days ago. Like,
No, I agree. I definitely agree with it. It's just going to be a fun couple of years, okay? It's like, what's funny? I tried using the showcase. Maybe I'm using it wrong. I thought it was just a click of a button, but like, it's a bit more complicated than I thought it would be. But I can't. Apparently, they're going to try to like Facebook saying, well, we're happy to talk. We're happy to speak to you guys about it and see what happens. But I can't see. I can see Facebook doing exactly what I said that Google's, in my personal opinion, is doing, which is, you know what, pay them 90 mil or whatever it is, just so they can shut up, and let's figure out a strategy. Let's figure out a strategy in 5 years' time where we go, well, we're not going to pay you anymore, but we've used our time well, unlike you guys.
do you see Facebook maybe coming up with like a subscription thing where you
Good luck.
subscribe to Channel 9 and they make money off it and then offer a portion of the profits to Australian media or something?
It would defeat the purpose of free to air then.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're subscribing to a free to air channel that's going to be shown on free to air.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like saying Netflix for free, but to watch it on
Cuz
Facebook.
can I bring up something?
I don't know.
Netflix, don't even worry about Netflix. While Netflix is got overheads of millions of dollars renting out those films, YouTube pays nothing.
Yeah.
Can I make that comparison there? So Netflix is a dying platform.
You
As
think
if-
so?
Because it's a matter of years. Because when YouTube's already got what Netflix has to offer anyways, you pay like $2 for a movie that you want to watch anyways.
Bro,
Eventually, because it's going to get to a point where, hey, don't worry about $2 a film. pay us what you're paying Netflix, and you can watch all the films they're already providing anyways.
Someone's going to offer that, but the model that Netflix has put out, bro, video games are trying to go that way. With that Google Stadia or whatever it is, it's like they failed miserably at it, but they were going to make like a game streaming service. So you don't actually buy the game, you pay $30 a month or whatever it is for the thing, and then you can pick and choose what games you want to play that month.
It'll never work.
It won't work,
I think
no. But we would have said the same thing about movies 10 years ago.
But movies different. Look how long it takes to make a game. We're talking about developers.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't have to be current games only. It could be old stuff as well.
You'd have to have a mad connection too, wouldn't you?
No, but what I'm trying to say is, say you got the whole of, let's just say Sony, for example. You got the whole, the list of games that Sony has all on Stadia, whatever it was called. Then what? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's only so many developers that can keep up to date with games that's gonna come out. Like, it is hard, man. That was the big problem to begin with, and that's also the reason why. We see phones now on a yearly basis. Console developers actually thought about that as well. Like Sony and Microsoft said, well, people are willing to buy phones every year. Why can't we get them to make consoles every year? Then the argument came about where the developer won't be able to keep up with the techs. Do you know, like these guys have to constantly keep up to date. Oh, this is the new hardware.
But as a consumer, you wouldn't be happy with it anyway. You buy a PlayStation, you want it to go at least 5-6 years.
Yeah. So, but I reckon give it time. Say within the next 30 years, we'll see that date drop. Do you know what I mean? Maybe not every 7 years. You'll probably see it maybe every 5 years, every 4 years.
That's acceptable. 5 years is a long time.
Nah, man, because, dude, look, how long did PlayStation 4 go for? 7 years?
But you're saying it's too soon.
It's too early,
but see what they're doing with PlayStation now. They release a PlayStation, and a couple years later, a Pro comes out. So it sort of keeps it like the PS4. They're sort of already doing that.
But I don't mind. But see, it's different now. Do you know what I mean? Like when you buy the PS4, for example, you can't play PS3 games. Do you know what I mean? But imagine you got a PS4, and in 2 years' time from now, they released a Pro, you can still play your games. But imagine 2 years from now, they released a 5, you can't play your 4s.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, unless they add backward compatibility every
Which they're
time,
starting to do now.
Yeah, they're realizing, hey, people want to play their old games.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty stupid.
But it's sort of fucking up developers as well. We're sort of going off the topic of the thing, but say, because of backwards compatibility, say you want to play, I don't know, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood on your PS5, all these companies are now having to do like updates for them so that they meet sort of the graphical requirements of PS5, because you don't want a PS5 and you're playing 64-bit games, you know what I mean? So they're updating all this stuff. Like you'll hear, oh, so-and-so just got a remaster. It's not a remaster, but like they got an update to go for the thing. So it stuffs developers up big time anyway.
Yeah, like to remaster games is obviously definitely hard, but yeah. Coming back to the Facebook thing, look, I think Facebook's going to win. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it's so pointless.
You know you can't delete Facebook off your phone?
Depends on the phone.
I can't uninstall Facebook off my phone.
No, you should be able to. It just takes a longer procedure.
Look, I'll show you.
Because Facebook.
Because I tried to get rid of all my social media because I was going to focus on, finance. But when you hold Facebook, there's no uninstall button.
You just stop the app. Yeah, you
can disable it. You can't uninstall it.
I think there's third-party apps you buy, and then you can actually get rid of it.
Get rid of it, yeah. But that's
I
just
can
showing
uninstall it here. Maybe it's just your phone, cuz.
I don't know.
Maybe you're just a retard.
Maybe these phones you couldn't. But the power of that, bro. I can get rid of Instagram. I got rid of TikTok. Can't get rid of Facebook.
TikTok is good. I think
Facebook, bro. TikTok is
all
so
tools.
useless.
Nah, there's a lot of hectic things. And I'm not talking about like women. No.
So
Oh,
useless.
I get you annoyed at that because it's like 50% entertainment, 50% unuseful facts. Like, cause there's a lot of psychology stuff, like psychology tips. You'll be like, if a guy raises his eyebrows when he talks to you, he's
You're talking about that chick.
No, this is a guy.
You know what we love? Oh, when a guy's like reversing and he puts his hand on your chair. But how is that hot?
But you look at the comments, there's thousands of people going, yeah, he does, right?
Oh, yeah, I tried that.
Yeah, and you know what I got? Nothing.
Right. What do we go off now, that motto? Content is subjective, cuz.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Subjective. Yeah,
might not be...
But I'm not saying that I watch TikTok and I hate it. But when I compare it to stuff I see on Facebook where it's like, oh, especially with the new stuff, Now that it's gone, it's not so useful. But like, you used to come across and it's like, oh, so-and-so company has just found a massive stockpile of lithium in Western Australia. And you're like, oh, mad. Like, what's that going to do to the battery market, the electronic cars? Like, it sort of gives me information that's relevant and important to me. In TikTok, seeing the new trend of teaches me nothing.
Oh, man. A lot of men would probably disagree.
And some of them have dicks. There's one chick that has a dick and it's like, and it's massive.
TikTok's a fun place, man. TikTok is a fun place. Did they find lithium somewhere? Or is that you just saying that?
I'm just saying that outright.
It was an
I think a lot of
example.
companies are looking in
Africa.
Africa, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Oh.
Tesla bought it all.
Well,
Yeah.
they're trying to, I think.
No, they
Tesla, I
bought
think,
it,
has a
like,
lot of Australian lithium as well.
They bought, I think, 99% of lithium on Earth.
Mm.
They actually own it. Do you know what's I came across the stat today, actually.
How can you be allowed to do that?
Tesla made more money off the Bitcoin they bought this year
Than they
already
do everything else.
compared to all of their last year profits.
Bro, I saw something of the last 10 years of sales in automotive industry.
Far out. I mean, imagine being that guy, but I know he's actually number 2 now because the boss, Bezos, is number 1 again.
Sponsor
Number
us.
1, he's a retired mofo. Nah, like, imagine being that smart where you just said, you know what, like, you're a car company. Imagine going out like to be in that guy's mind, like to rock up to your board investors meeting. Do you know what I mean? Like, guys, I got an urgent meeting to call, and everyone's thinking, you know, oh, did he come up with a new car? We should take all our reserves or all our money and buy Bitcoin. Like, imagine telling that as a car automotive company.
Because maybe it was the other way around. Maybe it was the board going.
No,
Elon.
This is Elon. This is definitely Elon.
Because you reckon he's very cheeky in terms of what he was doing with Dogecoin or Dogcoin.
Bro, I feel like he's really weird. Like, he
He
did all
is
that
very weird.
Dogecoin stuff, and then he was like something about a meme, and the sentence barely made any sense, and it was
Yeah,
just
it was like he was making fun of people. Like do you know what I took from his actions on Twitter and whatnot? It was like he was showing off. He was being cheeky.
how much influence he has.
Yeah, how much he can manipulate, how much his decisions manipulate markets or just society in general, bro. Like if the guy says you can eat human shit, it's nutritious for you, bro. I'm sure there's at least 1 million people in the world going, Elon said this, you know, maybe that's why it's fucking
Where's
smart.
the closest
they're
bathroom?
yeah, I mean, fuck the bathroom. You know, they're just going on
Everyone's
the spot. But you know what I mean? That's what I
Fill
took
my
from
mug,
it.
sir.
Because, you know, he was mocking Dogcoin, even though he
Doge.
was saying go buy Dogcoin. You know, I reckon he was just testing. He was in bed going,
I-
let me see what I can do
I
with
think
this
differently, bro. He's seeing Dogecoin at 4 cents or whatever, right? And he puts $1 billion into it. Buy Doge, it goes to 10 cents, bro. The guy's just doubled up.
Because that's what I mean. He's manipulating the market. He knows what influence he has on on people.
Bro, everyone knows how much influence these big boys, what do we call them, whales,
They're the
have
whales
on the market.
They're the whales on the market. Like, look at it. We had a crash in the crypto market. What was it? 3 days now? 4 days ago? Something like that. The rumor behind it was someone or some amount of people took out 100 million from Bitcoin and 60 million from Ethereum in one hit. So think about that. Like,
Good.
do you think the same would apply if someone did that to, like, say, within the Australian economy?
Yeah.
Do you think the same amount of issue would happen to, say, the ASX or to
No, but then
what's the
ASICs.
is
What do you
ASX?
mean issue? Like people pulling out money and it dropping?
Yeah.
Because this already happens.
Now, like, do you think, like, to that extent? Now, like, when we looked at the crypto market, it wasn't like, oh, the Australian market was down like 1%. It almost went down like 5%, 6% across the board, like, of the entire market. Now, imagine the Australian market in one day goes down 10%.
Yeah, that's true. But the thing with the Australian market is it's so diversified, right? So if you watch even like a CommSec update, it'll say, oh, retailers took a heavy hit today, but, you know, the minerals companies
the
went really,
mining
really
guys,
high.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's so diversified that one news doesn't affect the whole market unless it's like, oh, you know, there's a global financial crisis, then it starts hitting all over the board. And there are days on the ASX where it drops all over the board. But it's not as volatile as as cryptocurrency is, in that the whole market is very diversified, bro. You got pharmaceutical companies, you got banks, you got real estate in there. Like, generally, banks they'll do like the Reserve Bank will do a cut. Banks will go up because they're now borrowing at, cheaper prices, and then real estate goes up because cheaper interest rates means real estate goes up. But in that thing, I don't know, pharmaceutical companies might be struggling because now they're, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's not as volatile, man. It's more diversified.
Oh, fair enough.
And you've got how many, like 5,000 something companies in the ASX? So
Hey, there's 5,000 cryptos out there, all right?
that's true. That's
Pancake
true.
swap, bakery swaps.
But take Bitcoin out and take Ethereum out. Maybe take BNB out. 3 currencies. They're not worth much.
Yeah, but someone will step up.
That's true. But in that current state, you mean you've got that many coins on there that are like worth 1,000th of a cent. I haven't seen. There are small cap, market, but to get into the ASX, you need to be a certain size to get in. Whereas with cryptocurrency, bro, Dogecoin, some guy on Facebook makes a coin and you're on the market, sort of thing.
But the funny thing about Doge was everyone knows it means nothing. Everyone knows this. The problem with Doge is the people that are investing in is the casuals. Do you know what I mean? It's the people that is like, when someone goes, oh, Bitcoin, Doge to $1 or Doge to $1,000, they have no idea because it's impossible.
But imagine Tesla goes, we're accepting Dogecoin.
But it's impossible. Based on the market cap that Doge has, say it reaches $1. Just for hypothetical case, it reaches $1. You're looking at a market cap already of $128 billion.
Yeah, but bro, do you think GME had a market cap that could reach $420?
No, but GME is a stock. Doge is a currency.
Yeah.
The valuation of it is what matters. The currency's valuation, not the company's value versus a currency's value is completely different. Because if you said Doge to $10, it's higher than it enters probably top 10 currencies on Earth. Okay, which is impossible for something that's not backed by anything.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If these big companies come out and say...
They would have to restructure... The coin itself would have to restructure, which is what I'm trying to get at. But if you came up to me and said, okay, you know what? Let's say XRP. Okay, XRP comes out and they said they win their court case and...
God willing.
Australia goes... We no longer accept Australian dollar. We're accepting XRP as the set down payment.
Thank you very much.
Set down payment. That's different. Do you know what I mean? For the whole world to then American goes XRP, then the value goes up. But and the people that are backing XRP or there's an actual group to a Doge is just a bunch of people that just did it for shits and gigs. That's why Bitcoin is rated the number 1 cryptocurrency. It's because it's backed by a certain element, backed by developers, it's got a backing to it, which is why it's number 1. And Ethereum's the number 1 platform because it's currently the best, even though the fees are so high. So, like, there's so many little factors to it. But I look at the moment. What are we at? Bitcoin, we're looking at it on the American market, was settling into the 52,000 mark. Okay. Bitcoin is one massive company away from being on a different ball game. Like Tesla went into it. I don't know if we discussed this off air or on air last time when we were talking about cryptocurrency, but us 3 on a table, we don't go around buying Teslas. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't do that on a natural basis, okay? But if a company such as Samsung or Apple came out, it's a different ball game.
It's starting to happen, bro. Visa and stuff are starting to talk about accepting cryptocurrency.
On their platforms, yeah. But even then, they need merchants to still accept it.
Yeah.
So you're a company, for example, and Visa comes up to you and says, well, you can accept Bitcoin now because we allow it for our platform. And you go, well, I don't give a shit. I don't want it.
But what about this? Let's say you go into EB Games, you buy $100 worth of games, right? And you owe... Visa pays them in 100, but when you pay back Visa, you pay back in Bitcoin or whatever you pay back in.
What do you mean you pay back?
So $100 worth of Bitcoin you pay back to Visa, and that's how Visa accepts it. So the merchants are not involved at all.
But you have to pay them.
No, what I'm saying is, Bro, it's like when you use your credit card, you're not paying them $100. You're owing Visa $100.
Citibank is paying EB. Just an example.
That's right.
Yeah.
Citibank is paying EB.
Yeah.
So EB still gets their $100. They're just not getting it from you.
Yeah.
And then imagine Visa comes out and says, okay, you can make your repayments to us in Bitcoin.
Because there'll be a loss for Bitcoin. A loss for Visa.
Why?
Because they're taking a massive gamble on not a set structure. So they're going to go, okay, we've already lost 100, and by the time you make your payment to us, Bitcoin's down now 50%.
But then it's just an unrealistic way of thinking, and cryptocurrency means nothing. Because why would a merchant take that money then?
Because the merchant can dictate what price they charge you. It's different.
Yeah, but
See, Apple.
let's say you give them $100 worth of Bitcoin. You walk out of the store, it's now worth $80 to them.
What do you mean?
You've given them Bitcoin.
But that's the risk that.
But it's the same thing with
That's what I mean.
fiat
Like,
currency as
like,
well.
But like $100 is recognized as Australian. I know inflation and stuff gets involved, but there's no difference between Visa accepting cryptocurrency and a merchant accepting it. They're both taking a risk, which then it just, in my opinion, makes cryptocurrency not worth anything at all.
But Visa's not a currency holder. You got to keep that in mind. Visa's just a platform to share your money on. So look at Tesla, for example. Tesla's got 1.5 billion Bitcoins, whatever it was, or dollars worth of it. So they're going, okay, we own these now. Okay, so whether that price goes up or down, or if it flies to the moon or it crashes to zero, that's a hit on them. Visa's going, we'll allow it on our platform. We don't want to deal with the money. We don't want to be a bank. Visa.
Yeah. But even Tesla's taking a risk.
Even Elon knows
Imagine buying a car and giving them what Bitcoin, which is $50,000 now, right? And tomorrow it's worth 15.
Like as a consumer, you're cheering, and if it goes up, as a consumer, you're burning.
But why would Tesla take a risk like that?
Because of what Elon believes in it. Elon believes that that's the future.
So then it's just going to be Tesla that's accepting Bitcoin then.
No, everyone's going to follow on.
Which is what the thing is. Now, there's only a certain amount of companies that can actually do this. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think EB is probably like the worst. Even JB or even Amazon, I think they're
any Australian company.
They're worse. Like, they're not the right company. We're talking about companies like Apple, Samsung. Who else? Yeah, big tech or
Google.
even big electronics. Do you know what I mean? Sony, for example,
Yeah.
and all those types of stuff. I can't see like Woolies coming out and doing it.
Yeah, but
As much as it'd be great.
if I was a company owner, if I owned Sony, I wouldn't be accepting Bitcoin for it, because cash is cash, and it's going to be worth 10 grand or 50 grand or whatever they're paying you in 10 years' time. You might not be able to buy the same amount of things with it, but it's still 50 grand. You know what I mean?
It's just a risk. It is. It's a risk by the merchant taking and going, well, is Bitcoin going to go off?
So then realistically, how likely is Bitcoin to be used as a currency to buy things besides Tesla?
As in on a general market?
On a general market.
Depends on the beliefs behind it. It generally falls to the companies that are willing to accept it and the risk that they're willing to take.
So what will happen is a company will accept it for a month. They realize, oh, fuck, our 100 grand just turned into 30 and be like, no, we're not accepting it anymore.
And that's the risk that they took.
Yeah.
That's literally
and everyone will be like, bro, what's the point?
Yeah.
But see,
So which could be what everyone's doing. They're going, okay, then let's sit back and see what happens to Tesla.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people are probably kicking themselves in the ass about it because the guy just made all the money he made last year in 2 months. But it's okay. Do we sit this out for a year, or do we become the first in the market?
Yeah.
See, that's what Tesla's going for them now.
That's right.
We're the first in the market from an automotive industry, and we said, you know what? Fuck Ford and Ferrari and Lambo, whoever you want,
Toyota.
the Bugattis, and Toyota. Toyota's best example as well,
Toyota's,
because you're more consumer market.
Besides General.
Who?
Toyota's
I think Mazda's
biggest.
number one. I think you're right. Toyota's
Besides
probably
General
number
Motor.
one. They're going, we're now first to market. So now the automotive industry, if they follow suit, you're following Tesla. You're not innovative anymore. But electronically, no one's there yet.
Yeah, but at the same time, imagine this, right? Let's say 3 big giants take it on, right? And Elon goes, fuck this, I've made enough money on it, sell. Bitcoin's worth nothing. You just fucked everyone in the whole world.
Maybe that's what he wants to do.
There you go.
And as a company, how are you willing to take that risk on?
Because you know what's one...
It's like saying, sorry, bro. No, it's like saying, bro, I'm going to pay you in Telstra shares. Why hasn't this been done in the future? Because it's a fucking dumb idea.
Maybe one solution for the problem you're presenting now could be the fact that because Bitcoin is volatile at the moment, maybe when you're purchasing something, because it's all technology based or it's all online, at the time you're buying it to the value of what it's worth.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So there's nothing to stop. So if you're going to go buy, you say, for instance, for example, you're going to go buy a Toyota car, okay? He goes and types in the computer, all right, what's the value? All right, what's the value we presented? So the cost that they've brought up in manufacturing the car and selling the car. Yep. Okay, so this is our profit. So I think maybe one solution would be update, or maybe the syncing of the price amount of what the thing's worth.
Yeah,
You're saying overcharge?
No, not overcharge. So maybe a system, maybe I'm not aware of, maybe a system that's coming on, or maybe that's available at the moment. But so for instance, Woolies, you go there, instead of being a price on the thing, you scan it and you go, all right, right now it's worth $3.50.
Yeah, but the thing is, the coin that you pay is not worth what that is in 24 hours time.
That's what I mean. At that time, you had that agreement between both parties, so the seller and the buyer.
But isn't that the same for everything?
No, because cash doesn't change that much.
But
We're
the
talking
value of the goods
inflation.
But
does.
it's the value of
Yeah,
the
but
goods card.
let's talk inflation. It's 2.5%. Bro, Bitcoin moves 40% a day.
But hence, 'cause like that's the point I'm trying to mention.
So you're trying to say that when they give the money, they cash out on it?
No,
Because then there's no point of you getting paid in Bitcoin.
that's also a good point, because you're still paying for it on what value they asked for. So, for instance, they want a can of beans. So random. Can of beans. So they say they agree.
It's 50,000.
Nah, say it's
Talk
like
cars. A car that's 100 grand.
A car that's
100
100 grand. That's 2 Bitcoins.
2 Bitcoin, yeah.
Okay, let's make that comparison. 2 Bitcoins at the time, it goes down, so it's worth 2.5 Bitcoins or 3 Bitcoins.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So according to that time, say on a daily, I don't know, bro. See, this
It
is where
doesn't
trips
work,
me
bro,
out. Yeah,
because
I know.
the guy's
Like,
going
I'm
to get
trying
2.5 and then tomorrow it's worth something else. And you know what? It's either the consumer or the seller who's going to be kicking themselves because they'll be like, bro, if I waited one more day, I could have got it for
Actually-
1 coin. Or like,
But that's the
Let me
same with
bring
everything.
this up.
no, because cash doesn't. Because you
Yeah,
don't
but you're
wake up.
comparing cash, but I'm talking about value of the product.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
No,
the
but-
value that it is worth at the
You
time.
go buy
So-
you go buy $100,000 car.
I understand that, but let's say you're buying a Ute today,
Yeah.
okay? It's 35 grand. You don't go there tomorrow and it's suddenly worth 17.
But it's what the
But
so
Bitcoin
Toyota is like saying this car is worth 50,000 something.
That's right.
So whatever Bitcoin is worth, it's got to be I don't know, a percentage of whatever that book can. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Am
I understand, but
explaining
you're giving them a Bitcoin,
We'll-
but the
we'll-
value of that changes. It changes the
But
next
cuz
day.
Woolworths as an example. Cuz how many specials do they have? The value of something changes every day.
That's different because they're getting it for 80 cents and some days they charge you $1 for it and $5 for it. But
Okay, yeah.
y-
All right.
it doesn't, they're not losing. They don't
But
give
do
it
you
to you.
understand what I'm trying to get at?
They don't get the $1 from you and then the next day they open their wallet and it turns into 20 cents. You know what I mean? Like it's different. Money doesn't change that fast.
Maybe because it's
From an
the way-
international point of view, yes. If you bought something from America, right, and the next day, like you bought it at when $1 Australian equals 50 cents American, the next day it becomes 75. Yeah, you shoot yourself. But at the same time, you've paid that at the time, and it doesn't it never moves 25 cents in a day, really. You know what I mean? Like it moves 0.4 cents a day. Nothing moves as fast as cryptocurrency does. So when I think of it, look, I'm an investor in it and I'm making money on it and I'm happy. Do I see it ever being a currency used in the world? No. Not something that volatile unless they bring out something that
Do you
makes
mean
it
as a country's
not as a
currency?
country, as a
a
way of
As a
buying
means of
things,
making
as
transactions.
But it
merchants.
already exists.
No, only with Tesla it
No,
does.
you can buy in America. In
'Cause-
America, you can actually buy houses.
Because people
Yeah,
have
I
bought
know,
houses.
but in Australia, it doesn't. Like, they talked about it. It's been done 3 times. It made the news. Everyone's buying it. And then, like, I don't see it with how volatile it is. Bro, you'd be stupid to. You would be absolutely dumb to.
Depends on what you believe.
Depends on who. Like
on
if
what
you're
you
willing
believe,
to, if you're willing to
Like, would you-
accept payment from Bitcoin, then by all means go for gold.
Bro, if that was the case, then they would have been selling shares and doing shares with that.
Yeah, but what I'm trying, what my view on is my view. You're thinking from a business model where I'm thinking worst case scenario and best case scenario. While some people are just going, you know what? as a marketing technique, I'm going to accept Bitcoin. It's a risk I'm willing to take,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's housing or cars or whatever it is. I want to be first to market and go, you know what? I'm the first real estate in Australia to accept Bitcoin.
And
Whether
our
Bitcoin
friends.
goes down, whether Bitcoin goes up.
Yep.
My belief, part of my business, is that I believe it's going to go up.
All right, look, let me give you.
That's the risk.
that's
There's
right.
a massive
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is the risk way outweighs the profit you can make.
100%.
Let me say to you, all right, Fatih, you're gonna do a week work for me, okay? I'm gonna give you, say, $500 worth of Bitcoin for the work you've done for me, right?
Not enough.
And the time comes, you get the money. The next day you wake up, it's 150. You can't pay your overheads.
But that's my problem.
Yeah,
that's
because
true.
I'm not saying I'm not trying to stick up for the merchant. I don't give a fuck if all these companies go broke. I'm just saying from a business point of view, you'd be stupid to. And I'm trying to make it in a way that like it understands us. Imagine I get
'Cause
paid.
maybe they've
Imagine I get
figured
paid
it out.
$500 because they haven't, because we can see the price of it moving. Imagine I get paid $500 on my wage worth in Bitcoin. The Bitcoin drops. I can't pay my rent. I can't buy food.
Agree.
And it's like, imagine from business point of view, your overheads are going out. You got to pay people who are selling your cars, who are, you're renting most of these freaking, the places you're selling the cars. But you can't be to the bank like, oh, bro, look, my Bitcoin fell last night. Can you wait 3 days for me to like get that money back so I can pay you? Like,
I'm gonna jump on
Let me
Reddit
ask you,
and I'm gonna pump to the moon.
So how are we going to use cryptocurrency in the future then?
I don't. That's what I'm arguing.
Because
I'm saying that.
cryptocurrency is a decentralized currency, avoiding the middleman. You're more privatized. Now, what Emin's trying to state is, us three here, we're thinking from an ASX run business. Do you know what I mean? Bitcoin's not meant for that. Bitcoin is meant for the people that just want to pretty much hide their money. That's literally what it is.
Pretty much.
It's decentralized money, not untraceable in a certain way. Okay, so it's more for imagine I have 10 Bitcoins. What's that? 600 grand? Say 500 grand.
500
Okay, I'll buy a house. Yeah, it's a way for me to pretty much avoid everyone that's in the
Because
middle.
it's a safe means of holding your money.
Yeah, and look, from a consumer point of view, that's great. You bought these Bitcoins when they were worth $1 each, and now they're worth 500 grand. You bought a house, right? The smart thing for the real estate agent would be to cash out on it to get his money that day, right? And not take a risk. But that defeats the purpose of having a Bitcoin, because you're just going to drop the price for everyone and everyone gets fucked.
Yeah, but
Because I think it's just up to everyone. If you're willing to accept it, then you accept it,
that's
knowing that you've got the
that's
opportunity.
that's why I'm seeing it.
You know what I mean? Yeah, same. Because if someone wants to offer me Bitcoin for work, all means, bro. My number is 0401 687 254.
You just gave
You
your
just gave your
That was
number
not my
to
number.
YouTube.
I was about to
That's
say.
not my number.
But like,
It's not
I'm-
his number, guys.
I'm just thinking from a company outside of Tesla, I don't see it becoming a big thing.
I don't know, man. There's talks of Uber. There's talks
Because
of
they've
Apple.
invested millions into it. Millions and millions and billions. I don't know, cuz
They're onto something. They know something. Because the guys inventing
Because
cars.
it's just drug dealers getting billions of dollars in Bitcoin. It's
The guys-
untraceable.
The guy's going to Mars.
Do you
I
know how much?
believe
Do you
him.
know how much coke Elon would be snorting? He doesn't want the government to know he's doing that.
I think it's too smart to do that, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know, because
I can see him probably selling a part of the Tesla packages. Like if I
Buy a
take it-
Tesla and get a boot full of coke.
Yeah, you get a bag
Only
for free.
5 Bitcoin.
But like it's a consumer risk. Oh, sorry, it's a seller risk. Like, you know when you said, why would someone accept Bitcoin to sell it in the first place? You're not like, you're a real estate agent and I pay for the house. You don't care about the market. You just care about, man, I got 50 Bitcoins, whatever it is. I'm going to sell it. Bang, I'm
because
done.
at the time you
What
look at the
happens to the
value.
market is their problem. The same way it's like the housing market. If the housing market crashes, real estate gets stuffed. You know what I mean?
A simple solution. You know how Woolworths can adopt this? Stuff all these little paper price checks that they have on the shelves. QR code the phone. You run the barcode. At the time, what the Bitcoin is worth, that's how much that product is. Say an update of every couple of hours, it goes up according to what the value is
It
at
can't
the
be a
time.
couple of hours, man.
Why not?
Because look how fast. Emin's right about that. Look how fast it changes.
Bro, it went up
In a blink-
40% today in a matter of like 12 hours.
Bitcoin.
Not Bitcoin. I'm talking BNB.
Yeah.
But I'm talking currency in
Certain
general.
currencies.
Yeah.
Like if you look at Bitcoin, for example, the moment that Tesla bought it, it went up to 11 grand.
Okay, so you guys
And imagine like Woolworths trying to charge you, right? And they're like, all right, tap. Oh no, so you got to retap because it's like worth less now. Oh, you got to tap now.
No,
like,
obviously it's not updated.
It's gotta become
it's not
way more
syncing every
stable.
second.
No, you know,
say every day it changes. So
You know, it'd be funny.
that day
Everyone's
you
just
wake
standing
up-
in front of the. What are you waiting for? I'm waiting for the dip.
fair enough. Yeah.
How long have you been here? But I just want to eat bread, eh? It's been 4 hours. I'm just standing here for bread.
So then,
Like, I think that they would have to stabilize it in some sort of way where it doesn't move so fucking much.
the market would just have to shut. That's what the thing.
Yeah,
is. The
or you
market
could
would
have
to
that.
shut. But then the world suffers.
Yeah.
Or the Australian.
You can't buy Bitcoin during the day. Okay, in which country?
so then,
I love that. There was one on Reddit. I saw a comment. The guy goes, he goes, it always goes up at midnight. And then the other guy was like, it's midnight everywhere at one stage. But no, look, it is definitely a risk. It's something that a lot of more companies are going to adopt. So I don't think that it's going to drop down anytime soon, unless, like you said, unless Tesla comes out and, we're over it. We're selling $1.5 billion in one hit. But with crypto, what we have seen is, you buy the dip.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whales sell, we buy them. Where eventually someone else will pump in $1.5 billion.
And then you wait for the whales again. It's like whale watching.
It's like whale watching.
But you get paid to do it. But like, I'm just saying, if what's it called? If Elon Musk has this much money involved in Bitcoin, right? And he's a smart guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
He understands how this is gonna dip and that he might lose from it. But it could just be a massive marketing strategy for him to pump up and just earn. Because the amount of money he's earned in the last couple of months from Bitcoin, he could fucking retire on it, and
Just
half his fucking
one
board
month.
can.
One
I'm
month.
sure he
Yeah.
could have retired with Tesla alone. I don't think he needed Bitcoin.
I think
That was just the on-board decision. What can I do to shake up the world?
yeah, and
Straight up.
to be honest, that guy's thinking outside the box when it comes to everything. Like,
Yeah.
he challenged South Australian government to fix their electrical issue. Fixed it. They said, we can't solve LA's traffic crisis. So he said, why not just build a tunnel all the way through it? And he's doing that now. He wants
Boring.
to go to Mars. He's trying to figure that part out.
Yeah,
Like,
good luck to him.
I was figuring out, like, Joe Rogan's... Like, I was watching his last one with Joe Rogan. Like, the way he thinks is...
He's very calculated.
Not calculated, and also it's more
Optimistic?
like everything just seems so simple to him.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
super
always a
optimistic
solution.
about it,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
He's
it's
a
like-
pure entrepreneur, bro.
Like they're like, well, because Mars is so cold. Okay, so they go, how do we fix this weather? He like, I love when he just does this. Like it's
Yeah.
like he just calculated everything in his brain.
Yeah.
Like that. He goes, we can just drop nuclear bombs on the North and South Pole. He goes, that'll do. I'm there thinking, but we get heaters, Everyone just lives in spacesuits and stuff. It's got the nuclear bombs we drop on North Pole, so we get the whole pole to switch and stuff. And I'm like, holy shit! Like, look at the way this guy's
Bro,
mind's.
All right, here's a question for you. Mars,
An
all right.
alien.
No, supposedly we've landed. How the fuck do they know what the temperature of Jupiter is? Do they have one of those, those forehead scanners, and they can fucking do it from the Earth to Jupiter, which is like fucking 1,000 years of
To
flying?
be honest, I believe they could probably figure that out. I don't know how they did it.
From the color that the gas is emitting. Like,
Mathematics.
The weird one that I find is when they say Mercury is not the hottest planet, but Mercury is the closest to the sun.
yeah, but then there's the atmosphere around it, and there's no atmosphere on Mercury. And like, bro, I don't give a fuck what you're
I
putting
don't
near a
know.
heater.
don't know.
I don't care if it's far atmosphere or a lack of atmosphere. It's gonna be fucking hot.
But I don't have enough knowledge on this. You know what we should do?
Because-
We
but-
need
Because
to
it's
find
the same as the ozone layer in the world. The ozone layer is there to prevent the radiation of the sun, if I'm not
the
mistaken.
rays of the sun.
No, it's the certain radiation of the sun.
All right,
Right.
how the fuck do you? Ozone layer is made of gas, right?
So Mercury must have a double layer ozone layer.
It's a double
That's why
Mercury
it's
layer.
a cooler country.
My thing on climate change is, I'll be straight up with this, and you can call me a conspiracy theorist or whatever. I think it's the biggest fucking.
Give him the hat.
Whack.
Give him
Let
the
me put it
hat.
on.
Give him that.
It is the
Have this,
biggest
buddy.
fucking marketing scam in the fucking world.
I
Bro, you're
agree.
talking about an ozone layer. It's made of gases and there's a hole in it. Are you telling me when you pump up a balloon,
Glad I'm not the
there's
wacko
fucking
today.
holes in it that gas isn't on? Like, what are you fucking talking about, bro? If you got that gas, it would just close it up again.
Hey, are you saying Al Gore is wrong?
Because Al Gore can suck my left peanut.
But do you know what they're actually referring to, but
What?
when it comes to the ozone layer?
Please explain.
Dude, I'm going off.
You went
I'm going off.
defensive
No,
and
no, no.
you're like,
I'm asking him.
Tell
Does he
us.
know? Because again, I've already stated from the beginning. I personally think we need to find someone that like is an astronomer.
Yeah,
we need to bring Neil Armstrong into this.
No, fuck that cunt. He's a liar.
Neil,
But
Neil deGrasse
what-
Tyson.
this is what we're told about, like what we teach in school and stuff like that. When I say there's a gas layer around the Earth, it stops the UV rays because they bounce off, and now there's a hole in it, and it's near Australia, and that's why the sun's closer in Australia.
That I haven't heard.
But there's a hole in the ozone layer.
I heard the hole. I heard the hole.
It's
But when
more
you
closer to Antarctica.
Yeah, but I know, but it's like the southern. That's why they say you get more sunburn in summer, bro. Let's talk about the sun, right? I get more sunburn in midday compared to the morning. Why? Because of the fucking angle the sun's hitting you at. If the sun's hotter in Australia, it's probably because of the angle it's fucking hitting you at, not because there's a hole in a fucking gas thing that's only the hole is there. And what, bro? The gas is just stale. Like, it just stays still there. Like, the ozone layer doesn't flip around when the Earth's fucking spinning and flying through an expanding universe. It doesn't fucking make sense.
Again, I don't know.
It makes
I don't
no
have.
sense.
I am not an expert in this field for me to disagree.
When I
upon.
fart in this room, the fart goes the whole way. All right, it might be stronger
No, it
here.
puts a hole in my brain, and then it makes me want to smell it.
It's not like, oh, there's a patch there. This fucking fart's not ever gonna go there.
Okay, again, I'm noidea.com. Why is Antarctica melting?
Bro,
I don't know.
the world has fucking patterns, bro. Right? You have patterns. You have 3 years where it doesn't rain in Australia, and then fucking for 6 months it doesn't stop raining. The world's always had patterns. The patterns, in my opinion, is what, if dinosaurs existed, is what made them extinct. Because all of a sudden dinosaurs found, oh bro, it's not raining here, El Nino, blah blah, whatever you're talking about. Because you have these patterns. You have hot years, you have cold years. You know what I mean? If we're talking about climate change and fucking global warming, bro, this year in the world is probably the coldest fucking year. Look at Europe. They've had more snow than fucking the last 100 years. America's
Boom.
had more snow. Australia has had its coolest summer in a long time.
Yeah,
the
bro,
media will
hectic
tell you,
summer.
oh, fucking,
Oh
we're
my
4
God.
degrees above average. Because did they fucking get the average from the ice age? Because how is it getting hotter every fucking year and it doesn't feel that hot?
Nah.
Doesn't feel that hot here.
No, it doesn't. But if you're going to measure in Ayers Rock, bro, that place is a desert.
They matter. The people in there is right.
And I love how they're like, oh, it's the hottest day in the airport for the last 46 years. So, you're near an ocean. It doesn't get that fucking hot there.
Look, you know what we should do? That's it. We need to find someone that deals in the things that we are talking about.
Yeah, I would love to, but like, bro, here's the thing, bro. In my opinion, you're so conditioned to believe everything that comes through the education system. Bro, if I was conditioned by the education system in my 5 years of uni, I wouldn't believe God exists. Because all uni was for me was a ridicule of God for 5 years.
That's what science is.
You know what I mean? And like,
Science.
if you're told enough times that, I don't know, fuck, elephants are really pink, and you're shown pictures of elephants and you're pink, you've never actually seen an elephant, we're going to have people like you going, bro, I don't know enough about this, I've never seen an elephant. You're going to start believing elephants are fucking pink because that's all you've been shown.
So yeah, but then when do you start referring to experts within their field?
Bro, the expert is some dickhead who photoshopped the elephant to be pink and he's telling you it's pink.
No, but what I'm trying to say is,
Really going on a tangent here.
say, if, like, let's say, what's that one that called, man? Oh yeah, I'm trying to remember there was an argument that I was watching on YouTube. The percentage of scientists that believe on climate change was like 97 point something percent, something along those angles. Okay, so it's like, to what knowledge then would you have, or would anyone have, to reject the 97 and agree with the minority?
Because, bro, I believe that the education system is the biggest influence. Let's think about a time when we thought that the earth, the sun revolved around the earth, right?
Correct.
We're all in thing that we believe that the earth goes around the sun. But imagine that time, one guy would have came out and they would have said he's nuts. I forgot what his name was. The sun actually the earth actually goes around the sun. They'll be like, bro, ask the experts. The experts like, yeah, bro, I got taught in uni that the sun goes around the earth. That's it. Like that's what you're getting from experts because they've just
But
been
you know,
taught
science
this.
proved that right, but you know that, right?
What?
That the sun went around the
I'm
earth.
not arguing
The
that.
earth ran around the sun. Yes,
The earth
went
goes around the sun,
Yeah, yeah.
but I'm talking about, you know,
That's it.
I'm talking about 10,000 years ago when everyone believed that the sun went around the earth, right? I'm talking about 10,000 years ago. In that time, all the experts were people who were reading one guy's book who said that the fucking sun was going around the earth, and they were the experts. They've never been in space and sat there and looked at it and said, oh, actually the sun really does go.
Do you
you
know
know
the
what I
story
mean?
behind the butt? The actual
sort of, yeah.
Because actually, it's actually based on the Christian religion, where the church at the time believed that Earth was the center of all existence.
Yeah.
And they used to burn scientists that said no, it's the other way around.
Yeah.
And then it does the science. Like I agree. Like scientists confirm that. Do you know what I mean? Like I would have to. But what proof do you have it does?
You don't have any.
See what I mean? Like.
But that's what I'm
There
saying
is
to you.
proof, I
So
don't know.
when we ask experts about the
That's
topic,
this.
all we're getting is them regurgitating what they read in a book. Bro, I'll be honest with you. I went through uni about education, about teaching. Bro, we read 3 books the whole time we were at uni. Or not 3 books, 3 books by the same 3 authors. We always refer to, what did Margaret blah blah say? What did Margaret blah blah say?
Yeah.
You're only regurgitating what you've been taught. Bro, if there's 100,000 astronauts in the world, right? Bro, 95,000 of them have never been to space, have never been in a spaceship. They're just sitting in a control room and they're astronauts. Bro, if you want to talk about, all right, even animals, let's say lions do a certain thing. Bro, how many people have actually gone out and, seen that? Like, you're just regurgitating it. They're like, oh, bro, what's the point of reinventing the wheel? Let's go find new stuff. We'll just take this guy's word for it. The biggest thing is the evolution, Darwin's theory of evolution. It was always known as theory of evolution. Bro, the vocabulary has changed. It's just become evolution. Bro, it was a fucking theory. There's no proof behind it.
Well, Darwin himself said that.
That's right. But now it's just become an accepted fact that it's evolution. Now you ask a Darwinist or whatever, the experts in the thing, they're just going to regurgitate what fucking they've read in the books. They've never seen a fucking monkey turn into a human.
But isn't that every topic, Bart?
No, because when I talk to mechanical experts, I can pull apart an engine and see that the pistons are being fired by the fucking combustion that's happening in the chamber.
But that's different. That's more of a physical concept. I'm talking more along the lines of when you're talking about theories or when you're talking about something that you have to base it on research and base it on theory. That's
not so much. Let's think of pharmaceutical, right? We all know that, I don't know, like germs exist, right? Viruses exist. Bro, there's 50 fucking pharmaceutical companies in the world who are doing it. But when we're talking about certain things where only one organization is looking after it, you got to question it, bro. Like, who looks after climate change?
Me.
Who's doing the research of climate change and real? Bro, you don't know what the fucking temperature was at the airport 150 years ago?
Dude, that's gonna come across to everything though. It's like I have to question literally everything, and I don't have the knowledge capacity to learn everything.
No, because it's not the things that are seen as theory, bro. Okay, like climate change was a theory, and then all of a sudden becomes accepted as it's actually happening.
But if let's just say all their data's right, I don't know. Like when I listen to Brian Cox, the guy makes sense to me, man. Like again, because he's an expert.
Because you got taught at 12 years at school as well.
I never paid attention to those classes. Like when I listen to him, it's just more along the lines of, okay, this guy is the creator's a thing in his field, and to be honest, the people that try to go up against him, I can see flaws in their conversations. I can, but I'm not saying that they're the best to verse. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you know when you get certain people where it's like, okay, a guy as smart as say Elon Musk, for example, versus speaking to a guy like me. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to look like a dumb fuck compared to this guy. Yeah. But in those scenarios, when you get someone that's maybe an expert, say, to counter climate change versus someone such as that, like, who would you believe? Do you know, like, in my personal, I don't have the mental capacity to decide between the two, because there is an impossible nature for me to find out who's right. It's impossible. Yeah. Like, I can believe Brian Cox, who's pro climate change, and he says he's got the data for it, and then someone else has the data for it. How do you make up your mind? Because both these guys are going, well, we have data to present to us.
And that's why everyone sits there and buys the fucking washing machine that's 5-star rated emissions rating at fucking $400 more expensive, because we can't be bothered thinking about the whole thing.
Man, they sell it to me, man. That 5-star sells it to me. I use less water every time.
I am not arguing that, car emissions and stuff like that are bad for the earth. Bro, it's easy to see. You know what I mean? I just don't think that if there is a climate change that's happening, bro, the earth's been doing it for millions of years already.
Yeah, bro.
We've gone through ice ages. Bro, did we go through ice ages because dinosaurs farted too many times and there was too many emissions in the air?
But their argument isn't climate change is happening, like, that argument I've heard.
But that's not the only reason why climate change is happening. You got to understand as well, there's a lot more deforestation of forests in the world. What's trees do in the world? It supplies oxygen, does it not?
And rain as well.
And obviously, once you cut supply of the rainforest or trees in general in the world, it's obviously going to have some kind of effect.
But
And I think you can't completely cut climate change out just because people are saying gases this, gases that. I think it's obviously due to other factors as well.
I did come across a stat. I remember this. We planted more trees last year than ever in history.
Yeah, but what's the stat on how many trees were
That's
logged?
what I'm trying to get at. As in, like,
You know what I mean?
where does it come to the point where it's like, okay, it's like it's just one guy there. I wiped out one, or we planted two. All right, we're up 2 trees, guys.
Bro, the thing that annoys me about the whole climate change thing is like, oh, you make a difference. Bro, me wiping my ass with recycled paper while companies are fucking pumping that much carbon dioxide into the system, it's like what I do is almost fucking nothing.
Which is what their argument is. Which
But
is why they're trying to
if
hit
it's
those
50 of us at one time,
wiping our asses
with
then
recycled paper,
we make a
that's a
difference.
different
And-
story.
Bro, if it's better for the earth, make the recycled paper cheaper so I can buy it. Fuck, it's more expensive than getting normal paper, bro.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, most of the people that just like to talk about climate change are pro climate change, for example. They're not saying like they probably agree with you. The earth, I mean, the weather, the climate on Earth has been changing throughout existence.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You got ice ages, you got El Nino. It goes all the time. Okay, they're more along the lines of is human contributions accelerating climate change?
Yeah, look, bro, and you know when we're talking about listening to experts, I watched an expert once. I wouldn't be able to tell you who it was or blah blah. This guy was, supposedly
Alex
a scientist. But what he was saying made zero logical sense, right? He goes, it's gonna get to a point where the Earth is gonna go this high, and then Antarctica is gonna melt, and the water temperature, the water levels are gonna go by 1.5, and then within the next 1 million years, we're gonna have an ice age. What? How the fuck does heating of the Earth equal ice age? I don't understand that.
Again, if he said that, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Because again, I don't have the knowledge behind the weather. I can't see something that's cold melting causes coldness. I would assume that it gets hotter.
It's
Do you know what I
not
mean?
logical.
But for me to come out and say, okay, but I could be wrong. I don't know. But I would probably, with the knowledge I have now, say that, yeah, probably is wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, like with climate change, it's very hard, man, because the point on right now is what do I focus my time to research? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like especially nowadays, you got this whole vaccine talk that's coming up. That's slowly, like it's in the media now, but there's no push yet properly to take it or something like there's no set structure to it. It's like, okay, do we focus on that? Okay, do I focus on climate change? All right, do I start focusing on my health? Do I start focusing on this? Do I start focusing on that? Like, it's like, man, it comes to the point where it's like, man, do I just conform to what the government's trying to do? Do you know what I mean? Like, do I just become one of these sheep just going like, man, just shut up and just let me just live my life and I'll take whatever you want?
But with the vaccination, both sides don't make sense.
Yeah.
You hear like one guy talk about it and be like, oh, vaccinations this, but one guy comes out and goes, oh, dead biomes inside our body make no difference to our immune system. One guy goes and says, who do you believe?
Yeah.
Guys, it's not that. Yeah, like of course, everyone wants to know the science behind whatever it is.
But even if they did, they're not going to understand it.
Yeah, but regardless, cause it's their choice.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It's my choice whether I want this or not. It shouldn't matter. And obviously, the point, I think, the frustration that or the disagreement everyone has is the fact that they don't want this in their system. That's it. If that's the case, that's it. Why should it be forced upon us? I mean, now the government's. It's not like they'll go, all right, no worries. You don't want to have it, fair enough, but we're going to make your life hard. You're not going to be able to enter this place. You're not going to be able to go to that place. You're not going to be able to work in certain places because they're going to be like, no jab, we don't want you here. Simple as that. So it's going to affect you whether you like it or not. You know what I mean? So whether or not one party is right and one isn't, and the factors that consider their decision, it doesn't matter. Like, in the end of the day, it's our choice, and whether we want to have that or not, it shouldn't matter. You know what I mean? Regardless of what people think, it's our choice. You know what I mean? And even if the people that are taking the vaccine, why does it affect them? If you've taken it, shut your mouth. You're not going to get sick. Isn't that the point?
Yeah.
True.
You're right.
So why the fuck are you complaining about? Let the guys that don't want to do, like the push that people have, like for instance, Bryce Cartwright that's the new Eels guy. Last year he went heavy-handed on being an anti-vaxxer, and he copped a lot of ridicule.
Yeah.
Pretty much like no one wanted him. He was at the Titans, and then once news got around that he was going to come to Parramatta, there was a lot of heat towards him going, no, we don't want him here. Why? Because he said, I don't want to vaccinate my kids or myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And look, and people's beliefs on this, 99% of us don't even understand how vaccines work. Bro, this is what I was saying to you about the whole learned, perceptions of everything. Bro, we just taught you get a vaccine, it protects you.
Yeah.
If anyone thinks outside that box, it's like, bro, what a dumb cunt. Like, we've known for hundreds of years that vaccines work. Remember what happened with measles? Everyone was dying. We vaccinated, and then, like, it becomes like you're not an expert. You've just been taught to believe in a certain way.
Yeah, see, that's why.
But how do you become an expert then?
Bro, that's the thing. You can't.
That's what
like,
I'm trying to get at.
You have to go
like
through
you
med
can.
school and do your own
exactly.
research.
'Cause,
It's
your
too
own
much
research.
trouble.
But where are you going to do your research? This is what I'm trying to get at. Like we're people, like let's say people that I'll fight both sides here. Okay, you got vaxxers and anti-vaxxers. Okay, the vaxxers will believe the evidence brought forth from people who are more, say, pro-vaccine.
Yeah.
Anti-vaxxers will go off people that are more anti.
Yeah, obviously there's a
Okay,
bit of
so-
bias.
And you're gonna start from what you believe
Yep.
always first, and then you're gonna start comparing the rest. But you're always
It's
gonna
dumb. You've already got the bias involved.
That's
And you
right.
know what?
Yeah.
On the fair point, you're going to have senior doctor blah, blah of so-and-so hospital representing the vaxxers, and you're going to have some guy who's like not a professor or what. Like usually they're a lower person who's thinking it, right? And straight away you're like, bro, expert versus this guy who doesn't even have a degree. Yeah, he's a dumb. But at the same time, your experts are just people who are regurgitating what they've been taught through through the
exactly.
medical system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, has this guy actually thought and tested it himself? No. 95% of the time, he's just going off, John Citizen in USA did these tests for 45 years and he realized that this happened. Bro, were you there when he did the tests? Like, what
That's
kind of
so
people?
hard,
Because
man.
what kind of people was he testing? Was he testing a bloodline who's like naturally good at this disease? Like
I think that's all.
Because I'm sure those
stats
factors would
today,
have been
like,
considered.
that's probably all in the fact.
I don't
sheet,
know.
like, I'm not
See,
gonna
we
sit there
don't
and read
know.
300 pages.
But you're only testing people from that part of the world in America. Maybe it affects different people. It affects people differently in Asia. It affects people differently in so-and-so country. You know what I mean? Like, bro, we're not all the same.
We're all the same.
We're not, because I'll give you a very, 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 very prime
I don't
example,
see
right?
colour.
Because Australia has one of the highest skin cancer rates in the world, right? Let's think about it. Where did Australians come from? England. They get 4 days of sun a year. So if we're talking about adapting and evolving, bro, these people haven't been exposed to much sun. They come here and they start suddenly doing labor work in the sun. Bro, they haven't adapted to it. Bro, you get a guy who's from Africa who statistically have much lower rates of skin cancer than, Anglo-Saxons do. Bro, he's grown up in the sun. He's been generations in the sun. Their body have adapted to this. So you want to start testing certain people in a certain area, bro, it's not the same people here as they are in that part of the world who've got different adaptations. Bro, if I lived in Iceland or Greenland, I'd freaking die of the cold. For them, it's all right. I go to Cairns, bro, we were in aircon 24/7. The locals never turn their aircon on. They've climatized. They've gotten used to those conditions. Like,
No, should be right.
if you're testing
Yeah, but don't
the vaccination in a certain place, bro, test it in all parts of the world. Don't fucking release it into the world and make it experimental and be like, oh, bro, okay, people in Finland now have 3 heads. Oh, fuck, the vaccination doesn't work there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going off evidence-based, bro, you can never have enough evidence to go off everyone in the world.
Because you know what's interesting? We're talking about vaccinations, but we don't talk about prevention. Now...
Yeah, because you don't wear a mask, cunt.
Statistics. No. And I don't mean prevention in that sense. Obviously, that is a preventative measure, but I'm talking about. And I'm sure if you take a search or if the right professional was to come in and validate what I'm about to say, they say there's 3 types of minerals that if you were to take, you have at least a 90% chance, maybe even higher. I'm being
boosting your immune system.
Boosting your immune system. Vitamin D, vitamin C, and zinc.
and vodka.
I don't know about
It
the
kills
vodka.
everything in the system.
That's why Russians never get sick.
But just those three alone, they found that people in society have deficiencies with three of those mentioned. Now, my point being, if the world was to take those preventative measures, have a healthy diet, exercise, I'm sure COVID wouldn't be such an issue.
For
But you-
young people.
Now-
But you've just tackled
young people.
how many different companies are out of the equation there. You think a company like McDonald's going to allow that? For you to take the medication you need in a healthy lifestyle? Coca-Cola?
Well, in the end of the day, I don't think that's...
They don't force it down your throat.
Yeah.
man.
No, but
You get this cheeseburger down your throat.
They
You got Ronald McDonald.
look, we've discussed this before. They have come up with a program to go, you know what? We're going to force it down your throat. $1 cheeseburgers to everyone. And everyone's there with the apps. Yeah, boys.
But, nah.
But like, what I'm trying to say
Cause
is, what I'm not talking about is not the forcing down factor. It's more along what you just said. We're teaching the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
A marketing platform would need to be put forth for that. I agree with you 100%. I think people should definitely work towards boosting their immune system. But I think that too many heavy duty people are involved, and we don't need health. Like, we can't have healthy people. Who's going to go to gyms?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think...
There's a lot
Like,
of
I'm not going to
money
go on a tangent and go, if coronavirus is fake. I don't know. I'm not a professional to say that. Obviously, if you ask me my opinion, different story, but we're not going to go into that. Now, the point I'm trying to make is... Jesus Christ, I forgot my point.
Immune system.
People in today's day and age, okay? I'm talking, let's keep it domestic in Australia. We're working 9 to 5 jobs. I don't know, a majority of us have families. So certain factors aren't taken into consideration. Our diet gets shot because we're too busy running our lifestyle, whether it be working, or looking after a family or whatnot. Like me personally, obviously I've got two sons. I'm running around them. So obviously I don't get as much sleep as I'd like. And two, my diet is not as great as I'd like it to be. And secondly, I'm not as active as I used to be. So there's 3 factors alone that I've just presented that limit me or limit my immunity and maybe capturing sickness.
Bro, and it's interesting because it sort of relates to what Fatih said is Mac is going to allow you to do that. Look how these companies, right, have marketed things so that things for that. Let's think of what is 60s, 70s, right? TVs come out. Why make dinner when you can be watching TV? We got TV dinners for you, blah, blah, right? And then it comes out, bro. How can I say this? The vegetables we're eating are not the vegetables we were eating 100 years ago, right? We all know they've been genetically modified so that you can grow tomatoes in winter. You can have any vegetable or fruit. Bro, watermelons when I was a kid, you only had them in summer. And if you had them in winter, they were crap. Yeah. Bro, I buy watermelons in winter. They're amazing, right? But you got to think about the nutrient value of this. Yeah. The same people who are trying to sell you those TV dinners are now trying to sell you vitamins, right? Let's go even more. Organic market.
Yeah.
Bro, it's so expensive. There's it's become niche and everyone wants to do it, but it's expensive. Same thing comes to climate change and recycled toilet paper. Hey, you want to do the world a favor? We're all greenies here. Let's pay more for recycled paper. It's like too many companies take advantage of people trying to do the right thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just bullshit.
No, I agree with you. Especially when you hitting back to what what I'm saying. It's like eating healthy, yeah, but it's cheaper to eat crap food.
Fucking oath it is.
But the irony is most of the ingredients that are in the crap food is expensive to buy organically.
That's right.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like you make the same cheeseburger at McDonald's at home.
Yep.
It will not cost you $1 or $2.
It's going to cost you $20.
It'll probably cost you $20. Yeah, you get 4 or 5 burgers out of it, but you're not meeting that price range.
Yeah, and you got to work for it too. You got to prepare it and wait for it to cook.
So that's
and
the problem.
You
don't get the convenience of just going, open the packaging, eat.
Not only that, bro, I don't know. You can season that
yeah.
meat and stuff it's not going to taste the same as a cheeseburger. I'm not saying that homemade cheeseburgers don't taste good. Bro, Macca's has got that taste down packed, bro. It's amazing.
And look, I'll use another example for a Portos, the chicken rolls. Do you know what I mean? Like the chicken wrappers or whatever it's called. Okay? To make a chicken wrap at home, you got to get the wrap, you got to get the chicken, it's got to be grilled perfectly, you got to get the lettuce, you got to get the tomato, you got to get the sauce, you got to balance it. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, I'd rather pay
$8.50.
$8.50 and I'm done.
It's a
I'll see you
raw. I
later.
paid $15 for a regular meal, double fill
Bro,
up on
Portos
that.
is so expensive.
So
It tastes
over.
nice.
Nah, it's even
I
lost
like
its.
Bro, we were at Frango's.
it.
We were at Frango's 2 days ago after work. One, the burger tasted a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like $9 for a meal.
Yeah,
I think they have
Gallows.
like $10.50 meals if it's large or something like
Yeah.
that.
And you get, bro, the chips, I couldn't even finish. There's that much chips. And they put this amazing sauce on it. Going on a tangent, this was not as healthy, but man, a Portos is expensive.
Portos is unnecessarily expensive. What the like? Where
Bro,
are
me
they
and my missus
bringing their
going there, it's
chickens
like
in from
50 bucks.
overseas?
$50 for a couple of
It's
burgers.
great in Australia. They pay rent. Nah, I would agree. A Portos is pretty expensive. It's even worse on Uber or Menulog. It is the worst
Bro.
because it's like free delivery. Sweet. Can I get a meal? $40.
I put it in the order and it says $1 I'm like, fuck.
We're back to the Bitcoin.
Hope it drops.
No. Nah, look. Bitcoin to the moon, boys.
Talking
Bitcoin.
about dropping, can I talk about something that dropped 2 weeks ago?
Inan, what happened to your head? I'm joking.
No, I'm talking about Valheim, bro. This game that I've
I
put
heard
in.
about it. I haven't played it yet.
I've put in a lot of hours into this. So it dropped, if I'm not wrong, 2 or 3 weeks ago. In the first week, they had 1 million people playing.
I think it's been around for a bit.
No.
We're just sort of receiving
No,
2 weeks.
It came out 2.5 weeks
Yeah?
ago. It's in
Okay.
early access. It's not even a full game yet. So they brought it out 2.5 weeks ago, let's say, to
Okay.
be safe. It had 1 million players playing it in the first week. Second week, they were up 2 million for an early access game. Bro, this game's not even finished.
What is
It's
this
in
game?
development. So I'll tell you about it.
What is it,
Bro,
Valheim?
did you guys ever play RuneScape?
What was it? Sorry?
RuneScape? Did you play
RuneScape.
RuneScape?
No.
I don't know.
Okay, it's like Minecraft.
I know Minecraft.
Okay, but for adults, and it's got a little bit of Dark Souls in it. So you're taking on these really big monsters,
Okay.
and you got to work sort of cooperatively. You got to sort of learn the patterns that these monsters move in. But it's sort of like Rust, where you start pretty much naked. You're like got this cloth around
But
your
no
penis.
dick?
No, there's no penises in this.
Oh.
The graphics,
I lost interest.
the graphics are not good. It's like full polygon. Like
Yeah,
I don't know
I'm
if
just
it's
looking at it, I'm like,
64-bit.
cuz-
Is it
Yeah.
like
But
Minecraft?
Sort of, but the world is actually really pretty. Like when you see a sunrise, you're like, wow, that's a really pretty sunrise. So the way they've done it is like their own unique art style. And bro, you sort of like go out and you got to verse a boss to progress to the next like tier of things that you can craft, sort of thing. And you're constantly like building a base, upgrading your thingy, and you can have 10 people on your server. It's not so Rust is very PvP where you're versing each other. This is like work cooperatively to take out a boss. A lot of people are putting hours into it. I found out about it because I follow like gamer ranks on YouTube. They make a video every day, and then they were talking about this game that's taken over the world. So I was like, I'm gonna give it a go. It's $30. And I started talking about it at TAFE today. Bro, everyone at my TAFE is playing. This game's gone freaking massive. I don't think it's your style of game, Fatih.
Too much time to input.
Yeah, but the good thing about this in compared to Rust, you know how Rust, the service restarts in a week, you've lost everything. So you have your own server in this. It's permanent. And your items you can take to other people's server. So if you've got like a gold, I don't know, a bronze sword you want to take across, you can take it across. And when you level up, say you're wood cutting in another person's server, you actually keep it. Like your stats stay with you. You don't lose your stats.
That's an advantage.
Yeah.
That's one thing I hate about Rust.
Is
Was
the
server
whole
change.
restarting over again. Yeah, definitely. It's like you put in all this work and then it restarts. But then again, I can understand why Rust does that because you're going to have a monopoly of clans just ruling the
Exactly, yeah.
world. But with this, bro, you only let in people you want to let in into your server. And like, it's a lot more controlled. Yeah, someone can come smash your house, but you're an idiot for letting that person come into your world in the first place. So, guys, check it out. Valheim, it's freaking awesome game. And Valheim, please sponsor us.
You know, you and I have discussed this before as well because I think I think Valheim, I've seen only video footage on it. I don't know. I haven't played it myself to give an opinion. I think it's a game that I'm 5 years too late for. Do you know what I mean? Like I've played, I've played Civilization. I've played that for 15 hours straight at one stage. I love those types of games. I can put hours into game. Just now I just don't have the time.
Your life circumstances.
With me, I'm playing Apex and it's just more, I know that my max amount of time that I'm going to put into it, minimal, is 25 minutes. You know what I mean? That's the max that probably one game can go to.
Agree.
So 25 minutes, I know I can stop or I can go. Valheim, Rust, even Civ and all those types of games, I know that if I blink, it's going to be like Wednesday.
Yeah, that's pretty much been happening this week for me. I've been going to bed really late because I lose track of how much time there is.
Because you don't. Because again, I'm only presuming this. You would obviously take time to do certain things in the game. Like
That's
whether
right.
you're gonna get. Do you get timber?
Yep.
Yeah. So if you get timber, takes probably say 10 minutes, for example.
Mhm.
Okay.
Too long.
It's just more along the lines of like
You've
that
lost
10
me.
minutes. How many times do I do it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, I need more timber. I need. Say you do it 5 times. Boom. Within that 5 hours that you play the game, you spent 1 hour getting timber. But I'm not saying that it's boring. It's just more along the lines of you just lose time like that.
That's right. That's
But
right.
It could be. It looks like a fun game.
And that's why I got into it, sort of thing. Look, Apex has always had its ups and downs. I'll be honest. I haven't been enjoying Season 8 much.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Like, I don't feel like they brought enough into Kings Canyon to make it a different experience. You're still
I
fighting in the
agree.
same places.
I agree.
You're still fighting outside
Totally.
market. It's still a choke point there. You know, Octane is still a really good place to land. All those new places, like, it was fun the first couple of days landing into them. And it's like, you know that new section where the back of Runoff, what was it? Where Slum
Yeah.
Lakes was? Not Slum Lakes, the other one.
Something.
Slum Lakes. I don't even land there anymore.
See, I found Season 8 pretty cool. I find it more along the lines of it's expanded Kings Canyon, which was heavily needed. I believe that it probably should have been just a tad bit bigger, just to bring maybe a different type. Maybe they should have, explosion on maybe 2 parts of the map, if
I
that makes
agree.
sense. Like
Yeah.
To change it up, not
Yeah.
enough has
like
changed
maybe
in my
I
maybe
opinion.
like water treatment, for
Yeah,
example, like blow up that maybe part of that area there.
yeah.
I like water treatment as much
I
as
do like
love
water
it.
treatment, or even the other side, bro, where the waste place is, where those little cabins are. No one
swamps.
lands there. At swamps, no one goes there anymore.
Yeah, swamps. I think swamps does need to change. They could have done that a little block. There's also a lot of emptiness there, if that makes
Could
sense.
have
Yeah.
dried it up.
It could be in the future. Okay,
Dried up
but
the swamp.
with Fuse, I think is not necessarily the greatest character. I think he needs a big buff, to be honest.
Yeah, and get rid of the fucking grenades.
Look, that's his thing. You know what's funny? But ever since I've been playing more ranked and more just casually as well, I've seen the Fuse character drop. Like it's dropping.
He's not an OP player.
He's not an OP player, especially in rank. He's definitely not a ranked player because he brings no benefit to you whatsoever.
Whereas Horizon went right up that OP list.
Horizon definitely went up that list because not only does her ult come in handy to either to suck the other players in to cause a bit of problem from there, or for them to disperse. If you're running away, you can drop it at your feet, and it makes it difficult for the other team to follow you.
Okay.
Does that make sense? They
Yeah.
have to spend some time shooting that while you're getting away.
Yeah.
Plus her Q is just insane.
She's just got a crappy passive.
No, her passive's insane.
What, jump landing not stunning you?
Yeah. You know what's funny?
Bro.
When I started playing as Bangalore now, I realized the amount of time I lose between a jump and to running again.
You know you can punch things to stop that, right?
I can, but you're still not on a Horizon level.
Nah. Bro, imagine she's an anti-gravity player. Imagine they gave her like wall run or something.
I think they're going to introduce a wall run character.
Yeah, like, I don't know, man. When you've got Bangalore's passive as when you shoot her, she runs 4 times faster. Man, falling and not taking full stop is like so minimal.
But when you're running away, that comes massively handy, man. I'm telling you that now. Like I've survived so many scenarios where I can run quicker than the other guy, unless you're a Wraith or an Octane. Like
Yeah.
it's just that bounce factor.
But yeah, like Season 8 hasn't brought in enough for me to stay entertained almost.
I think ranked has allowed me to stay more entertained because of the rules changes that they've done for ranked.
Mm-hmm.
How you can get more points and rank up a lot more easily.
Mhm.
I think that's definitely helped because what I've started to realize is gold and silver are slowly more what they are, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Because back in the days when you used to enter gold, it was really hard to get out because you would just set with so many dumb shit players. And like again, yeah, it's easy for guys that play 10 hours a day and stuff. But if I jump in there for an hour and I play 4 or 5 games, and all 4 or 5 games I'm copying shit teammates, I'm stuck there again till the next time I play. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Now it just feels like it really has sort of separated,
Mhm.
where it's like silver players are really representing silver, gold is sort of representing gold. Again, I hopefully I'll get to platinum a bit sooner than expected. I want to judge what platinum actually is because back in the days when you entered platinum, it was okay. Now I got to focus.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like platinum could be the higher end of gold now, which would be awesome because you start getting better players there.
It sort of warms you up into that that level.
Yeah. So I think ranked has definitely improved. I do agree from the character perspective that it could be better. The new gun's pretty good, but I think it's OP.
What is it that
30-30.
repeater knife?
And
That's a
you know what
PlayStation
as
thing.
well?
Cut
It's
this
sort
one.
of on the lines of Rust. And I know that this is for a purpose, just like Rust is. But the thing that turns me off ranked is I've had this ambition to try and get to platinum, right? And I get to gold 1 and I'm almost there. And it restarts me back to bronze. It's just like, bro, what is the point? Like, what is the point of struggling to get to gold 1 and then it just restarts? Like, I feel like the restarting is too freaking heavy.
It's 2 levels. That's what it is. It's 2 levels. So it makes sense because, dude, they're not planning for you and I, though. They're planning for the guys that are in Predator Masters. If they don't get rid of it, these Predator Masters are going to be versing the same people for the rest of their
No,
lives.
I understand that, but how do you go from gold 1 to bronze 4 in a reset?
Yeah, but you know if you play Bronze 4, the moment that it comes out, you're in the same lobby technically.
Yeah.
But you should rank quicker.
And there's no there's no incentive to even play ranked. What's
There
the
is-
incentive?
I agree.
I want my dive trail.
Yeah,
I
but
want my dive
I'm
trail.
never going to get there. You've been playing for like 4 seasons. You
No, but
haven't
they brought-
gotten there.
But they brought Diamonds 1 back. I just want Diamonds 1. I
Like,
need
there's no
Diamonds dive trail.
there should be a thing where, all right, you've gone from bronze 3 to bronze 2. You get 50 currency. Next one, you unlock a skin. Like, for me, there's not much incentive to get into rank. And I'll be honest, like, I've become bored of Apex in a way.
Wow.
I play with you and it's enjoyable, but it's like, bro, what for? Like, besides entertainment, I'm not really getting any progression in this besides how my skills
Because
changing.
that's all it is. It's entertainment.
I know, but
What do you get out of Rust?
You don't, and that's why I stopped playing it. Whereas with Valheim, I put in 2 hours, but my wood cutting's gone from 25 to 35. And like I've unlocked a new thing. Like, there's no progression with Apex. And I know that's the whole the whole point of having a thing, but it's just I've gotten to a point where it's like, bro, I played this for 5 seasons and I've gotten nothing out of it.
Apex is self-progression.
That's right.
It's you becoming
Getting
a better
better.
player. That's
yeah.
right.
And I think I've just reached my maximum potential. I'm not going to get any better than that, and that's what bores me as well.
You never set benchmarks, but you can always aim higher.
But what for?
Always aim high
Like,
in life.
why?
But it's the same thing with Valheim, but it's like
Guys, don't worry.
it's like I cut trees faster. Okay, great. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
No, but like-
I've achieved nothing.
Bro, from the start
It's
to
a
the
game.
finish.
Like, what are you trying to
Yeah.
do?
No,
You're gonna
but-
get money out of it or something.
But
I want to be a billionaire.
you don't get it. Like, it's almost pointless. Like, when you play Assassin's
'Cause
Creed.
playing all games.
No. Then you would be, everything in life would be pointless. You play Assassin's Creed, from the start, you follow a story, you unlock new things, you get better abilities. With Apex, you're not getting anything new.
Yeah, but
it's like a
you can't compare
competition.
those because Assassin's Creed is a story-based game, while this is a battle royale.
And I'm not hitting Apex.
Like if you
I'm
were to
hitting
say
Apex
Fortnite
for this
versus
season.
Apex,
Like with the other seasons, I was building to something. I'm like, oh, I want this new skin that's come out. I want this. There's not even that in the battle pass. There's not a skin in there where I'm like, bro, this is cool. Like, I want to get
this
it.
season's one.
Yeah.
I feel like the battle pass is.
And that's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, progression. There's nothing for me to play for this season almost, besides me getting better at the game, which
Just-
I think I've plateaued anyway.
just finish your battle pass.
I'm not even motivated to do that.
At least you get the currency to get the next one for free, just in case season 9's in.
I have like 2,000. I have like 2,000 coins, so I'm gonna get the next one for
Okay,
free
there you
anyway.
go.
But like in that regard, after playing Valheim, and I haven't played another game besides Apex in such a long time, is that I actually miss unlocking things and achieving something
Yeah.
and like moving
I know what you're
forward.
talking about,
And
yeah.
like I like the fact that I can jump on Apex for 15 minutes and play one game and get off. I can't do that with Valheim. That's the good thing about it. But it's made me lose interest in, bro, this game's been out for 8 seasons. You haven't brought anything that really changes this game. Whereas I look at Fortnite, every couple of seasons they've got this brand new map.
Yeah,
They've got these
that's
mad
true.
skins. They're bringing in, we've got this limited event Iron Man thing. You get to get his skin. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like Apex really needs to do something.
Apex needs more shitty game modes. That's
And
that's
that too.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I've been and
Bring back the
Who-
train, bro.
see again. I hate the train, but I know a lot of people that
I
actually
enjoy
like
the
That's
train.
what I mean. They like the train.
Because you know why I like the train? I don't have to loot. I just want to kill
Yeah.
people. I just want to kill people.
Yeah, that's like for
But,
me.
they did adopt the lock and loaded.
That's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, lock and load's been around for a while. It used
But
to
it
be
doesn't
shotguns
change the
only.
game enough. You land with a Mozambique and a white shield.
I've been begging for it, and they need to bring it in. They need to bring in 30v30. They have to bring this in.
Yeah, I agree.
Imagine 30 on your team. Everyone's just yelling there.
Yeah, see, Fortnite did that. It was half. It was red team and blue
Bro,
team.
do you remember?
we played that?
Yeah.
But I
Bro,
think
think of Destiny, right? You had 1 week and you had to achieve certain goals to get that skin that was only out that week.
Yeah.
Imagine Apex did this, right?
They did.
Brought out like, do they do it often enough? But you get one a season or something.
2 times a season.
Yeah, but make it a weekly thing.
Dude, you need how much? You need people behind.
Bro,
it.
and Apex's one is almost pay to get it anyway.
No,
You get one skin out of 20 of them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, make it a weekly thing, and it's like, all right, this week we've got a Spider-Man costume for Wraith, and you got to get 50 kills. You got to win 2 ranked games. You got to, and it's gonna push people to play the game more, bro.
But look, you got to think of it from a developer perspective. To make a skin every single week,
Fortnite does it, bro.
but Fortnite's backed by $1 billion company. Do you know what I
You're
mean? Like,
backed by EA, the biggest.
EA doesn't give a fuck about these companies. All they care about is the money that goes in their pocket. They don't like to spend it on games. Fortnite, I would have to give them benefit. You can see sort of the way that they pump money back into the game. The tournaments that they pay for.
Yeah.
Shit. Apex, that EA doesn't do that shit. It's more Respawn that's trying to do all that
Bro,
stuff.
if I was like in there, bro, you know what would be mad? Imagine like a 2v2 soccer game in Apex.
Well, they had that leak, so I'm hoping that leak is true.
Oh, really?
No, as in the team deathmatch leak. Apparently, there's something embedded into the code where there's a setting for team deathmatch. Now, team deathmatch is 3v3. That's it. It's just you three. So think of it like Counter-Strike back in the days. 3v3, smaller map. Like it's like, say it's just like where Octane is, for example. It's just that part of the map, and it's 3v3.
Yeah.
And then everyone starts off, whether it's like maybe like, remember Counter-Strike Ice World, where you pick up guns from the floor and it's just ready and you just go. That'd be hectic.
Yeah.
Bring that shit to me.
Bro, imagine they brought out a thing. They brought out those, remember those dogs from the Bloodhound thing? What are they called?
Yeah.
The Prowlers. Bro, do something with that where it's like, all right,
We can
it's
drive
like
them.
it's like a boss thing. You fight 3 Prowlers at the start. You go to the next level. They get stronger. You fight 10 Prowlers. Like they sort of did that with the Bloodhound thing. And then make it where there's like a boss. And you got to like work together. Make it more like a PvE thing where it drops an Apex pack at it. Right, and you're just grinding that because you want to be unlocking, but they won't do that because they're going to be losing money out of it.
That's right.
Or do once a week event.
But see, what we're asking for is for the companies to stop focusing on what makes them money. It's like FIFA. FIFA's the best example, man.
But even FIFA brings out new modes.
FIFA,
King of the Hill.
FIFA brings out new modes that you have to pay to do your shit in there.
No, I'm talking outside of Ultimate Team. They brought out that King of the Hill. They brought out the what's it called?
But
When you pass more goals, like that stuff makes it entertaining when you're playing amongst mates.
But how often do you play that?
I don't have FIFA anymore.
No, like as in like even if you had it,
What's FIFA?
you're gonna play that only with your mates.
Yeah.
Okay. But you know for a fact that 95% of your time is gonna be an Ultimate Team, where you're spending money. Why? Because some pack came out that allows Ibrahimovic to become a centre back.
Yeah.
You know, like it's all about money for these guys.
Yeah.
But I agree that Apex they need shitty game modes. Do you know what I mean? Like shitty game modes where it's just more like, I don't care about the fundamentals. I want to jump off ranked or trios. I just want to enjoy this shitty mode that you brought out. What I mean by shitty mode is more like, I don't care, but it's so much fun. Do you know what I mean? Like when they brought out that other one, remember we were all dummies, and every time we pressed Q, something random happened.
Yeah.
We were all like grey dummies and shit like that. That was awesome because why? We didn't have to rely on Wraiths disappearing. We didn't rely on Pathfinders flying away and shit like that. It was literally, am I good at this game? And I'm hoping for the best that something comes out. Do you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. It was just fun to play with.
Yeah.
But yeah, this season, the train. I'm not a fan of the train. But imagine Mirage. Imagine 3v3 or 2v2, Mirage boat.
Yeah.
Like something like that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like something like that. Or
Bro, Melee in the new thing they made for Pathfinder, they made that whole place for Pathfinder. There was nothing to come with it.
yeah, I feel like you spend so much time, you lose so much time there that if you spend so much time there, you're actually stuffed. Do you know what I mean? Like, because everyone's got the loot around you, they're just gonna wait for you to come out.
Yeah, but make out mode where it's melee only, 3 versus 3. Like, you've made it, bro. Make a thing on Octane's thing where it's like a race. You got to run and like, you know what I mean? Like, there's so much potential for the game to open up, but they don't do it.
You know what they should have done as well? You know they have sort of like a driving track on Olympus.
Yeah.
Make it like Mario Kart, but you can shoot the other guys.
Yeah.
Like something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, again, I agree from that perspective. Maybe it's working in. Look, again, last year's pandemic didn't help gaming developers a lot, so hopefully they improve this year.
Why did it stop them doing their job or something?
Because they weren't allowed to go into the offices.
True.
So the tech that they have, like, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt for that one. What Apex did the whole of last year, I'll give them the benefit because they did actually produce some good content, especially season 7.
Last season was amazing.
Yeah, because Olympus,
that's right. But it comes down to if they'd made enough changes in Kings Canyon, it'll make it more interesting. But it literally one area changed, didn't it?
One massive area.
Yeah.
Change, yeah. Like, it is a massive change. Like,
I did bomb.
Huh?
Just a big crater.
And bro, they got to come up with new ways to change the map. Like, how many times are craters gonna hit and like?
Yeah.
Nah, you know what I was thinking? Olympus. You know how it's in the sky? I was thinking Olympus would just fall down somewhere.
It crashes into World's Edge.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
big.
Imagine that.
There was some mock.
I was thinking about that.
There was a mock map that they made where they said, imagine we joined all 3 together, and then instead of 60 teams, you get 120 teams.
Imagine how long we're waiting in the lobby.
Australian
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 service.
service. We're on for 8 hours. When everyone's playing.
No, don't get out, bro. Don't get out.
No, just open it in the morning and press the triangle.
Nah, man. On PlayStation, you'll
By
find
the
a
time
lot
you
of
get
that.
home from work, it's ready.
Can you imagine that part? Like, there's like 16 Gibby ults going off the whole game. The whole game just fucking crashes.
But yeah, like Valheim's just been really refreshing to jump into a game that is a little bit different.
I do
like,
miss, like, Apex is a good, you jump in there for an hour and then you jump off, it's done.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, because I miss playing games where you build up whatever you build up to an objective of whatever you're trying to achieve in the game. I do miss that. I can't remember the last time I played a game. Maybe Grand Theft Auto.
well, I tried to do it with Cyberpunk and it was shit.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk is such a flunk of a game. Like, even when I
liked it.
I got into it and then it got boring again. It's just like, but the game's too broken.
Does you reckon it's you got bored of it, or it's just
Because worldwide, it's getting really bad rap.
fair
Yeah,
enough,
it's just a very broken game.
Fair enough.
You know what? CD Projekt Red is a really good developer. I think too much pressure got to them that, bro, you keep delaying the game and they just rushed it and got it out there.
Just get it out.
And you know what? It's going to be like that. What's that space game that they really stuffed up at the start and then it got better later?
Star Wars.
No, I can't remember.
Star Trek.
Now, it will come to me later. But even if they do fix the game now, too many people have lost interest in it.
Anthem?
No, not Anthem. Anthem was another flunk. That's another EA flunk.
That was EA's.
But No Man's Sky. So
Oh,
No
yeah.
Man's Sky, when it came out, apparently was terrible, and now it's really, really good. But they've lost all those people who were interested in it, and
Because people move on.
yeah,
If
the
you,
same thing's gonna happen with Cyberpunk, bro. The idea behind it is amazing. What they have done, I don't know if you guys have seen, GTA 5 modders have actually made GTA 5 in Night City.
see what I mean? Like, that's why GTA is GTA.
Bro,
man, like,
it's 7 years old, and in every aspect the game does it. Bro, I saw it. The top 10 racing games of all time, Grand Theft Auto's in it. It's not even a racing game.
it's the one in the sky, man. Like that.
Yeah.
I watched so many highlights.
Yeah,
of this
I
guy.
watch it too.
There's one guy that I watch. He's got every physics
Jelly?
down pat. I don't know his name,
okay.
but he just knows the whole, like, you know, like he's just like flowing
To
in
turn
the
the car,
air
yeah.
like this. It's perfect.
And it comes on TikTok videos.
Yeah, he just perfectly has it down pat. It's like, holy shit, man. But the reason why, and this is what Cyberpunk's going to try to do. They want to go online. I reckon this is just all a testing phase to sort out their problems before they go online. All right. Once they go online, I think it will change the game in a very big different way because you're more freedom, to be honest. But Grand Theft Auto, they got it down pat. They don't let people get bored. That's the big thing because there's only so much driving around the city you can do and
And
versing
robbing
other
so
players.
many banks.
That's right. So what they constantly do is like, okay, inside online, we're going to introduce a story mode. Look at that. Look.
You're gonna be a biker and you're gonna do this and blah blah.
That's right. And then they go, okay, but yeah, you're gonna go and steal this from this guy's mansion, but you're gonna work with your teammates to do it. And they're very smart because these guys are going, okay, let's write down now what works, what doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we create GTA 6, everything that worked, let's chuck it in there.
Yeah.
Because everyone loved it. We're going to make another perfect game and then think on top of that.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was gonna say, bro, Rockstar is your benchmark of developers, bro. What game have they made was a flunk, bro? They made that detective game that is like so out of nowhere
LA
for
Noire?
them.
LA Noire.
LA Noire, gun of a game, like amazing game. They brought out a cowboy game, Red Dead Redemption 2, bro. I didn't particularly enjoy the
It's a
whole
good game,
storyline,
bro.
but it is a
It's
fantastic
an
game.
excellent game.
No, I definitely agree. Look, when it came down to revolutionizing the game with GTA 3 of controlling a person the way that they did, change games for it. But you know what's funny? Like when you actually look back and the stuff that they changed, it's like, oh, GTA 3, the character was silent. Then GTA 4, GTA Vice City, he talks now.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit, it's a game changer. But he couldn't swim. Then San Andreas came out. It's like, oh, he can swim and talk
And he gets
now.
fat when he eats. And like,
like they start thinking outside the box. Yeah, the problem that with GTA is going to be one massive factor. Times have changed. Do you know what I mean? Times have changed where we got this whole new cultural society that's come out, and they're going to just try to destroy GTA.
they've had that problem since the start.
It's a lot bit different now, man. This whole general
Look at how many times they've been sued, bro. They don't give a fuck.
like I do realize have you realized like there's no animals in GTA and there's no kids?
There's deers and stuff.
No, as in like dogs wandering around the streets, cats.
There
wandering.
are in GTA 5.
In 5?
Yeah,
Maybe I was
yeah.
reading an article based on 4.
Yeah, 5. There's dogs in the hillbilly part.
They
Even attack you.
in the city.
Bro, Thing has one.
Yeah, there is.
Franklin has a dog.
Because I got
But,
attacked
but
by
it's
a
sort of
bear.
like it's not implemented into the game.
No,
you know
but
what I mean?
there's stray dogs and stuff in
Yeah,
the hillbilly part.
It's kids is the big one, obviously. That makes sense. I'll give them that
Yeah,
one.
bro. But you know what? Cyberpunk's got him, and I've run over a few kids, bro. I'll tell you that. Like,
GTA's probably going, you know what? No one complained. Add that to the list. Like, it's just they just know what to do, man. Like it, and I love it because they don't drag it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, we need to release another GTA in the next 2 years. No, it's like, man, it's 7 years old. Let's see how it goes.
yeah.
We realized we didn't make $1 million this year. We made 900 grand. All right, let's start working on GTA 6.
And like, bro, I understand that like society's changed and stuff like that. But if Rick and Morty can be a show, bro, anyone can do anything. Bro, the amount of ridiculous shit on Rick and Morty, because a 17-year-old kid watches her 13-year-old brother masturbate in the kitchen.
But Rick and Morty is not. It's famous, but it's not famous yet.
It's
Bro.
like underground
Yeah, no,
famous.
trust me.
It's
You reckon?
underground famous, yeah.
Let's compare that to something that had like, again, it's been around a lot longer. You got South Park and all that type of stuff. But when Family Guy does something wrong now, it's because that they're well known. Do you know what I mean? Like the jokes that they can pull, like some of the stuff that they get away with, is holy shit, it's insane. But Rick and Morty, I think maybe give it say 3-4 more seasons, maybe reach season 7, season 8, or something like that. And they're continuing those types of jokes, they'll start to attract that whole cancel culture bullshit.
Yeah, bro, they openly say that 9/11 was an inside job on it.
It is.
Dude, how many
It
times
does.
how many times has Family Guy come out and said we make more money off treating cancer patients than providing them with a vaccine? Like that ain't give a shit, man.
Yeah.
Like it's
But yeah, I don't think, in terms of lawsuit, GTA 6, if it does come out, when it does come out, like,
not lawsuits, cancel culture.
it's they've never given a shit. Bro, you know what's the most fascinating thing about GTA? And I'm going to probably sound like a nerd. The radio stations, bro. I've always found it so fascinating that they put a twist on it and you're like, bro, this is how society actually is. It sounds fucked up in the radio and you're like, this is actually happening. Bro, I remember there was an ad, I think it was on GTA 5, where, bro, you get to have a IVF, but you get to choose the color of your baby's eyes and shit. And it's like, bro, this is actually happening.
Yeah. Speaking of soundtrack on their games, it's also so relevant to the game. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? Like when the mad thing about it is, I think it's Vice City. When you got Tommy Vercetti starting, I still remember this game. The scooters in front of you. The moment you jump on that scooter, it's Billie Jean, Michael
Yeah.
Jackson. Why? Because that was the 80s.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they just, and then they go, oh, yeah.
And
Just going
there's
driving
even
around.
there's that thing song in it, the Scarface song.
Last night in the AM. And then you crash into your crash your white Lambo into the club. I feel like playing that game now.
If I could get mods that make it look good, which I think I
Which
can,
you can. Yeah.
I would play Vice City again. It was good. Going to the Malibu club, just macheting everyone that's in the club. And they don't run out.
By the time you get out of the thing, there's like 7 tanks outside. Those are the days, man. I put so many hours into that game. You better keep running, asshole.
I just like the whole progression of how he becomes so rich and powerful. Like, you think you've done it when you take over that Scarface mansion, but it's like, nah, bro. This is just the beginning. We're gonna make that Malibu club be the best club in the world. We're gonna make what else he has. He even does up a taxi stand and stuff like that. Like,
whatever you. That was the first time you introduced buying something,
Property.
buying businesses and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And then you like the funny thing is when we're like 12, 13 years old playing this, like you actually feel like you're an entrepreneur. Like when you're, I'm gonna buy this apartment.
I guess
yeah,
the
like,
teachers,
it's so different level gaming, man. EA, take fucking notes.
can we
Cocksuckers.
move on to our game now?
You know what? Let's put it for next week.
Okay.
Let's put it for next week.
agree.
Let me change it around.
Can we add a little twist to it, because we handled the chili thingy like a bitch. If we get a question wrong, we're gonna take the next sauce in line.
Whoever loses has to
Yeah,
take 'em
has
all.
to take a sauce.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's go.
Inan and I are taking sauces next week.
Proper sauce, not like the little bitchy way we
Yeah.
did it last time either.
No
So
ketchup.
what, every
just
question
sauce.
or
Raw sauce. Yeah, every question.
every question?
mess.
Okay.
And you know what? We'll make it even more interesting. The guy who's won gets to choose how much sauce on your nugget.
All right, done. Yeah,
are
I'm
we-
down. Challenge accepted. Handshake. Right here.
All right.
Bro,
Can
have
I end this with a quote? I want to put a quote every week.
Okay.
All right. It's a bit of a
You're
HK
professor
one.
now.
If you break
But,
2 sticks, you get 1 stick.
It is better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
Why? What
And I'll
about if you're
leave
a
it at
gun
that.
gardener?
I'll leave imagination.
I don't know, man. Those soldiers can't really run if the grass is not mowed.
No, well, it was actually in regards to how sensitive we are as a society these days. I mean, bro, you call someone... I'm not even going to say... You call someone something and automatically that's it.
Call them a pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And mental health is serious. It's not a joke.
Yeah,
And then-
we sort of put it on to every fucking description of that episode.
But like, coming to my point is like, if you think about it, you know how we look back and we say, oh, our grandfather was very tough, or like, or certain family members were like this, and they didn't complain and whatnot. Well, think about it, bro. With the amount of wars, like for instance, World War II, we're not that far off, are we? Like, it's been less than 100 years, not even.
For 80 years, yeah.
80 years, yeah. If you put that into context with what I just said, you know how they say certain people are like, "Why? There's no need for violence, or there's no need to thing." And I'm not. What are you calling?
I feel like I need to invite May back.
It's just a quote, bro. Take it however you want. But it's if you think about it.
I'm still trying to figure out where you're leading with this.
No, there's no leading. I just wanted to give that quote, and I thought I'd explain it, but I've had enough.
He's just pretty much
I'm
saying
tired.
toughen up.
Yeah, pretty much. No, it's just better to be... Look, take it literal. I don't care however you want to do it. It's better to be a warrior in a garden than it is a gardener to be in a war.
What did you Google for that to come up?
No, I didn't. I heard this... I was listening to a podcast. Can't remember what podcast it was. And I agreed with it so much. And I was like, you know what? It's better... Like, for instance, it's better to be prepared as a warrior. So when shit happens, you're not going to be there going, oh, shit. You know what? When I was picking up daisies and roses in the garden, I wasn't thinking about how this guy's going to punch my head in. And I'm not saying... I'm just saying, this is my own thinking. This is what was going on in my mind. But it makes sense. It makes complete sense. Doesn't matter what circumstance that goes into. But I'm just saying, it's a quote. And it really hit me. And I don't know. I just thought I'd share it.
Yeah.
So I shared it.
It's better to be a mechanic in the shop than to be a mechanic at the shop.
Fair enough. I mean, good seeing you, bro. You know, thanks. I guess.
You're welcome.
Comment
Very
down below
welcome.
if you guys have quotes. If you want to be a
Comment
gardener, if you want to be a warrior,
and tell
let
me
us
how
know.
much you agree
Tell
with
me, are you a warrior or a gardener?
Fair enough. Look, guys, subscribe, comment. You know where we are, etc.
And no one wrote anything about what their top 10 athletes are. So go back to that video.
No,
watch
I
it,
got a
tell
lot of
me
private people. A lot of friends that didn't agree with me. One friend got really angry. Shout out to Fiddy. I used to work with him. He really got triggered with LeBron James being my 7th or someone's 7th. I think we all picked LeBron around the same time.
He was in our bottom.
Bro, the amount of facts he brought out
I didn't have LeBron.
in terms of why he deserves. Oh, you didn't have LeBron?
I didn't have LeBron
there
at
we go.
all. No.
Bro, you know why? I told him straight up. I go, dude. One, he plays NBA. I don't watch it. Secondly, he hasn't won enough championships to be regarded as a decent athlete. So when he starts winning more championships, he'll get a little higher in my updated top 10 list next year. But till then, don't get triggered. This is my list. This is what I think. If you don't like it, make your own list. All right?
And send it.
Yeah, bro.
And send it.
Don't be complaining. No one's even complaining anyways. But still, stop thinking it.
When you're laying in bed at night, stop thinking about it. Just go to sleep, bro. Whoever you are.
But, yeah, we gave you there's plenty of opportunities to present your top 10. If you don't want to do it,
And you know what? You
Don't-
present yours. We're going to talk shit about it too. Do it. It's a challenge.
no, it's not a challenge. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. We've done it. It's gone. It's a week past due date. So next time when it comes into something else, give you input. Other than that, piss off. See you. Have a good week.